Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. The Demon Clan signed in and I became an invincible boss. Chapter 41. At this time, looking at the Demon Clan wise man who turned around and was about to leave, his back was so desolate. From the moment he handed over the sermon to Yi Xingqian, the whole body of the demon wise man was instantly filled with death energy. This was because the tense energy and spirit that had been tense since he had no worries in his heart instantly relaxed, and the death energy in his body a performance that could no longer be suppressed. Many monsters looked at the wise man's back and secretly made up their minds to find the life-extending elixir to extend the life of the monsters. Without the monsters might have perished long ago. Several times when the Demon Clan faced huge crises, it was the wise men of the Demon Clan who sacrificed their only lifespan to see through the future and save the Demon Clan from danger. This is also the disadvantage of double pupils. Although they are powerful, they need to sacrifice their own lifespan in order to exert their true abilities. Luo Qingxian also wanted to speak, but was interrupted by Yi Xingqian, who only heard Yi Xingqian say, "Old man, wait a moment." Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the wise man from the Demon Clan turned around slightly, looked at Yi Xingqian, and said in a joking tone, "Does Emperor Zun want to go back on his word? A man who keeps his word can't go back on his word." Hearing the words of the Demon Clan wise man, Yi Xingqian was slightly startled. He did not expect that the Demon Clan wise man could actually joke, and then said with a smile, "Old man, I will never go back on what I promised, but there is one thing that I want the old man to agree to. I believe that the entire Demon Clan hopes that the old man can agree." Hearing what Yi Xingqian said, Luo Qingxian on the side instantly became excited and held Yi Xingqian's hand tightly. Feeling Luo Qingxian's excitement, Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian affectionately and smiled at him. But at this moment, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the wise man from the Demon Clan smiled slightly, but his eyes were calm. "Emperor, please tell me, if I can do it, I will definitely do it." Hearing the words of the Demon Clan wise man, Yi Xingqian waved his hand, and a golden pill appeared in the air in front of the Demon Clan wise man. As soon as this golden elixir suddenly appeared, the entire 10,000 demons square was filled with the aroma of the medicine, which could be smelled thousands of miles away. The golden halo exudes a strong breath of life and continues to spread out. Feeling the breath of life exuded by the golden elixir, everyone's faces showed shock, and they heard Yi Xingqian's voice. "Old man, this is the immortal golden elixir refined by the younger generation. Please keep taking it and continue to use these eyes to see through the fog and guide the direction for the Demon Clan." Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the wise man from the demon race looked at the golden elixir floating in front of his eyes and felt the rich life energy exuded by the golden elixir. The wise man from the demon race asked in shock, "Emperor, this is refined by you?" "Yes, this is the immortal golden elixir. Its fragrance can float thousands of miles and will not dissipate for 3 days. Taking it can extend your life by 100,000 years." Yi Xingqian could only attribute the credit of the system to himself again, but he did not tell the grade of the medicine. Yi Xingqian did not want the Demon Clan wise man to have any burden in his heart. At this moment, hearing Yi Xingqian's words, all the people from the Demon Clan were shocked. Luo Qingxian even covered her mouth with disbelief on her face. Although she could see from Yi Xingqian's expression that her husband could refine the life-extending pill, she did not expect that her husband could actually refine it. 100,000 years of magic elixir. Just from the aura emanating from this elixir, Luo Qingxian could feel that this immortal golden elixir was at least 9th grade. The 9th grade elixir can be called a divine elixir in the Shenhuang continent. The entire 10,000 demons square was silent, and all the Demon Clan members stood blankly on the spot. The elixir that can prolong life for 100,000 years is definitely a 9th grade elixir, and Emperor Zun is actually a 9th grade alchemist. At this moment, countless pairs of eyes looked at Yi Xingqian standing there with admiration. At this time, they discovered that the figure in white was getting taller and taller in their hearts, and at the same time, it became more and more mysterious. Looking at Yi Xingqian standing there with a smile on his face, the wise man from the Demon Clan was also filled with excitement. Stretching out his trembling hand, he took the immortal golden elixir in midair and felt the huge life energy in the elixir. The wise man from the demon race asked Yi Xingqian in disbelief, "The emperor is sure to give this 9th grade elixir to the old man?" The emperor knows that the value of this 9th-grade elixir is almost priceless. If it is auctioned, it may be worth a city in the human race. Hearing the words of the demon clan wise man, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said calmly, "Old man, take it. Not to mention 1 city, even 10 cities, in the eyes of the younger generation, can't compare to the old man." As soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, without waiting for the wise man from the demon clan to speak, he waved his hand and took advantage of his unpreparedness to send the immortal golden elixir into the mouth of the wise man from the demon clan. The next moment, the demon clan wise man's eyes widened. The moment the immortal golden elixir entered his mouth, it turned into a huge force of life and entered his body. This huge life force is constantly repairing all the hidden diseases in his body, making his meridians tougher and his body stronger. The wise men of the demon clan can easily feel the huge changes that have taken place in their bodies. The completely withered body seems to be reborn at this moment, full of infinite vitality. And all the people of the demon clan opened their mouths wide, as if they could swallow a goose egg when they saw the death energy disappearing from their bodies and the demon clan wise men constantly exuding the power of life. At this time, the demon clan wise man's curved back slowly straightened up. His face looked like a dead tree, and the deep wrinkles seemed to have been ironed. They became lighter and lighter. His gray hair, it turned black slowly. In just the blink of an eye, the wise man from the demon clan has completely changed his appearance. From an old man full of deathly energy, he turned into a middle-aged man in the blink of an eye. Feeling the changes in himself, the wise man from the demon clan couldn't help but tremble all over as he looked at his powerful hands and strong body. He actually knelt down on one knee directly facing Yi Xingqian, and let out a loud voice. "Monster Clan Lu Wanquan, thank the emperor for his great kindness, and accept Lu Wanquan's respect." At this moment, the people of the monster clan who were shocked by Lu Wanquan's huge change came to their senses. When they saw the wise man of the monster clan kneeling down on one knee in front of the emperor, they were instantly shocked in place. It turned out that the name of the wise man from the demon race was Lu Wanquan. Seeing Lu Wanquan's reaction at this moment, Yi Xingqian instantly stepped aside, helped Lu Wanquan up, and said, "Mr. Lu, please don't do this. It's really embarrassing for the younger generation. If Mr. Lu does this, it will make our brothers laugh. Please get up quickly. I don't care what the other clan members think, the emperor seems to have given Wan Chuan a second life. It's not an exaggeration to say that he is a reborn parent. He can definitely bear Wan Chuan's worship." Lu Wanquan looked at Yi Xingqian, turned around and knelt down again. Yi Xingqian was even more helpless. How could this old man be so temperamental? He immediately dragged Lu Wanquan, who was kneeling, and looked helplessly to the side, where Luo Qingxian was smiling. At this moment, seeing her husband's look for help, Luo Qingxian gave her husband a charming look, and then said to Lu Wanquan, "Mr. Lu's beloved husband has seen it. Get up quickly. Today is a happy day. We monster clan don't have such false etiquette." After hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Lu Wanquan stopped insisting and still bowed deeply to Yi Xingqian. Yi Xingqian really couldn't refuse and accepted Lu Wanquan's bow all his life. He helped Lu Wanquan up again. At this time, the entire monster clan looked at Yi Xingqian with not only admiration but also deep pride in their eyes. Because their mysterious emperor is not only their recognized boss, but also a 9th-grade alchemist. Because there is an ancient rumor in Shenhuang continent. A 9th-grade alchemist can dominate the world. At this moment, the entire monster clan looked at Yi Xingqian with deep admiration in their eyes. Because there is an ancient rumor in Shenhuang continent. A 9th-grade alchemist can dominate the world. Feeling the adoring gazes of everyone around him, Yi Xingqian felt heroic and said loudly, "Brothers, you are happy today. Come, let's have another drink." At this moment, Yi Xingqian's reputation has reached its peak, even surpassing that of the Demon Empress. After all, many times, the relationship between men is so simple. It may only take a glass of wine to make men become true confidants. The next moment, 10,000 demons square erupted with an astonishing momentum. Everyone's momentum actually gathered together and shot straight into the sky. Seeing the astonishing scene in front of her, Luo Qingxian looked at Yi Xingqian with beautiful eyes full of affection. The reason why the demon clan is so cohesive now is because of the man in front of her, a man whom she loves deeply, but who is extremely mysterious husband. Luo Qingshan didn't think too much. She could sense her husband's thoughts. This was enough. The whole process lasted until noon. The alcohol content of the best wine was extremely high, and all the people of the demon clan were drunk. There were even those with low cultivation who were in a daze, and a divine light flashed across their bodies, and they actually broke through because of the top-grade divine wine. When Yi Xingshan returned to Fengqi Palace, he was supported back by Luo Qingshan. Perhaps because of happiness, or perhaps because of his arrogance, Yi Xingshan actually got drunk. Coupled with the extremely high alcohol content of the best wine, Yi Xingshan, who had a high alcohol capacity, fell directly into Luo Qingshan's arms. Looking at Yi Xingshan lying on the bed, sleeping soundly, Luo Qingshan's eyes were full of tenderness. After looking at Yi Xingshan, Luo Qingshan turned around and disappeared. She still has a lot of things to deal with. Many happy things happened in the demon clan today. The wise man of the demon clan, Mr. Lu, extended his life by 100,000 years because of a pill from her husband. Luo Qingshan was even more shocked and happy that her husband turned out to be a 9th-grade alchemist. A 9th-grade alchemist, even in the entire Shenhuang continent, I have never heard of it. The top power in the human race, the master of the Shangqing Palace, is only an 8th-grade alchemist. Perhaps it is true as the two great emperor ancestors and Mr. Lu said, the future of the demon clan depends entirely on the husband alone, reminding me of the ancient legends of the Shenhuang continent. A 9th-grade alchemist can dominate the world. Luo Qingshan turned around and glanced at Yi Xingshan, who was sleeping soundly on the bed, and Luo Qingshan secretly made up her mind. No matter what happens in the future, Shen'er will be with you, not because you are a 9th-grade alchemist, nor because you are the future of the demon clan, but just because you are Shen'er's husband. That's all. Thinking of this, Luo Qingyan's beautiful face revealed a determined look, turned around and disappeared. And the scene changed. Human race. In a huge and majestic palace, golden red laws shined, and countless flames, like waterfalls, flowed down from the sky above the hall, falling towards a majestic figure sitting cross-legged below. The flame exuded a blazing temperature, as if it could annihilate all things, burned through the void, fell on the majestic figure, but instantly turned into a well-behaved child, spinning around the figure with joy. The figure formed hand seals, and the terrifying flames instantly disappeared into the figure. The golden red laws in the hall turned into a golden red chain and penetrated into the body of the figure. The entire hall instantly became cooler. An extremely majestic voice sounded. Prince Wushwang, have you received any news? As soon as the majestic voice fell, a vague figure appeared in the hall and said to the majestic figure. To report to Emperor Yan, the prince has sent back the news that the demon empress has promised to come to the imperial court in 1 month to participate in the auction. The prince also said that the empress has a business and wants to cooperate with the emperor. After hearing the words of the vague figure, the majestic figure raised its head, with sword-shaped eyebrows and starry eyes, and a majestic weapon. The eyebrows reveal endless majesty, and the eyes are as deep as the abyss. They are not angry and are powerful, as if they have the world under their control. This person is none other than Yan Wudi, the great Yan Emperor's dynasty Emperor Yan. Oh, Luo Qingshan actually does business with me, I am really looking forward to it. The empress of the demon clan is getting married. Da Dao personally congratulates her. Has the prince found out? Hearing Yan Wudi's majestic voice, the vague figure immediately replied. Reporting to Emperor Yan, the prince has not sent any news about this matter, but the secrets of Shangqing Palace have sent back news. It is said that the elder of Shangqing Palace, Han Xuanluo, once visited the monster clan, but came back in embarrassment. I think he should know some news. HMPH. Those hypocritical people in the Shangqing Palace, relying on the fact that the demon clan has no alchemist, tried their best to lower the price of the demon clan's medicinal materials. I think Han Xuanluo must have suffered from the demon clan. I guess that Luo Qingshan came here this time probably because he wanted to cooperate with the emperor for the medicinal materials of the demon clan. From this point of view, the demon clan should be working with the Shangqing Palace for the medicinal materials. Not very pleasant. After hearing Emperor Yan's words, the vague figure below shook slightly, and then said. To Emperor Yan, Shangqing Palace has always been like this. With the Shenhuang continent in its hands, most of the alchemists are top powers themselves, and all the disciples are full of arrogance and arrogance. My subordinates have one more thing to report to Emperor Yan. The demon clan has established a Wandan pavilion at the junction with the human race. It sells 3 kinds of first-grade elixirs, all of which have never appeared in the Shenhuang continent. And the effect is much stronger than the same type of elixirs in Shangqing Palace, and the price is very cheap. It can be said that the supply exceeds the demand now. I think the demon clan should also have an alchemist now. I heard that Shangqing Palace was extremely angry because of this matter. Although it is just an ordinary first-grade elixir, it has occupied many markets in Shangqing Palace. Hearing the blurry figure's words, Yan Wudi seemed to have fallen into deep thought and said to himself, Wandan Pavilion, interesting. After taking a look at the figure below, Yan Wudi's majestic voice sounded again. The emperor's oral instructions are, firstly, to secretly investigate the husband of the female emperor of the demon clan, and secondly, during the auction, all sect disciples must not offend anyone from the demon clan. If they violate it, they will be severely punished. Hearing Emperor Yan's voice, the blurry figure bowed to Yan Wushwang, the space shook, and the figure disappeared. At this moment, Yan Wudi raised his head and glanced outside the palace in the direction of the demon clan, and then his figure slowly disappeared. There was no fluctuation in the surrounding space, which showed how strong he was. But Yan Wudi was left in the air, muttering to himself. I have a premonition that the demon clan is about to rise. When the great times come, perhaps forming an alliance with the demon clan is also a good choice. At least compared to the hypocrisy and sinisterness of the human race, the demon race is more honest and kind. As soon as Yan Wudi finished speaking, the entire palace instantly became blazing, and countless golden red laws appeared. The flames emitted this time were even more terrifying. If there is a strong person here, he will be surprised to find that the entire palace has entered the domain at this moment. The leader of the great Yan Emperor dynasty, Yan Wudi, was actually a powerful immortal emperor who understood the realm of the realm. At this moment, if there is a strong person here, he will definitely find that the Yan Emperor of the great Yan Emperor dynasty, Yan Wudi, is actually a strong person who has cultivated the realm of the immortal emperor. There are many powerful immortal emperors in the entire Shenhuang continent, but there are very few powerful immortal emperors who can cultivate the realm of the realm. There are many powerful immortal emperors who have cultivated the fire domain, water domain, and sword domain, but those who can cultivate the flame domain can be said to be very rare. Just like Yi Xingqian's sword domain, if it weren't for the system's rewards, Yi Xingqian might not be able to cultivate it in his lifetime. After all, if you want to cultivate the realm of domain, you don't just need to have the qualifications of understanding. It also requires the right time, place and people, both of which are indispensable, and the understanding of the law of flames needs to reach an astonishing level, which can almost be said to have created a new way of inflammation. At this time, Yi Xingqian was lying in Fengqi Palace, sleeping soundly. It was not until the next morning that Yi Xingqian slowly opened his eyes. Looking at Luo Qingxian, who was sleeping soundly in his arms, Yi Xingqian's eyes were full of sweetness, but he secretly thought in his heart. I didn't expect that the best divine wine that has been improved by the system, without using the body's cultivation, only drank 2 bottles and made myself drunk. It is indeed a product of the system. As if feeling Yi Xingqian's gaze, Luo Qingxian slowly opened her eyes. Looking at her husband who was looking at her affectionately, Luo Qingxian smiled slightly at Yi Xingqian. Husband, you're awake. Last night, Shanur saw that your husband was sleeping soundly, so she didn't wake him up. He slept for a really long time. Luo Qingxian looked at Yi Xingqian and said softly with a smile on her face. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian raised his hand and gently scratched it. Luo Qingxian's cute nose made Luo Qingxian roll her eyes charmingly. Because today Yi Xingqian promised to preach for the demon clan and the disciples who had just transformed, the two did not stay in bed, got up laughing and happily had breakfast together. As the empress of the demon clan, Luo Qingxian had many things to deal with, so she greeted Yi Xingqian and went to the empress palace. Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian who had disappeared, smiled slightly, and then looked up at the sky. It was not long until noon. Yi Xingqian plans to go to Wanyao Square after completing today's sign-in. So he came to the window of the study and looked at the beautiful scenery of the demon clan. Yi Xingqian said to the system. System, check-in starts today. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward. 1 million top-quality immortal stones, which have been placed in the system space. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 10 cultivation upgrade cards. The cultivation upgrade card is unique to the system and can only be used by the host. After the host uses it, it can allow all people below the Mahayana realm to instantly break through to a greater realm within a certain range. It is a pretentious artifact specially prepared by the system for the host. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, an Ancient Spirit Gathering Array. The Ancient Spirit Gathering Array can independently gather the spirit energy between the heaven and the earth, so that wherever the Spirit Gathering Array covers the area, the spirit energy will instantly increase several times. It is an ancient formation that has disappeared for a long time. At this moment, looking at the scenery outside the window and hearing the sound of the system, Yi Xingqian couldn't help laughing. This system actually prepared an artifact for me to show off. This system knows me so well that I don't want to like it too much. System, please pay attention to your own emotions. This system is the only one in the world. In addition to giving the host the power to suppress eternity and sweep across an era, it also allows the host to have all the auras. This is just the beginning. Hearing the sound of the system, Yi Xingqian was speechless, but he liked this reward very much. After looking at the time, Yi Xingqian walked towards Wanyao Square unhurriedly. At this moment, the entire 10,000 demons square was overcrowded. Although Emperor Zun agreed to preach only to the demon disciples who had just transformed, he did not say that other people would not be allowed to come and listen to the sermon. At this time, everyone in the entire square was discussing happily, and the person discussing was none other than the Emperor's boss whom they recognized. Hey, I still can't believe it. Just after drinking a bottle of the best divine wine given by Emperor Zun, I have broken through 2 major realms. This Emperor Zun is simply too powerful. Who says it's not the case? I can't believe it either, but look around you and see the disciples who transformed with us. Didn't that one break through 1 or 2 great realms? Emperor Zun is simply a god. 2 demon clan disciples leaned together and discussed in a low voice. Hearing the discussion between the two, the other disciples around them suddenly became energetic and began to talk aloud. Don't forget, the Emperor is a 9th grade alchemist. There is no 9th grade alchemist in the entire Shenhuang continent. A 9th grade alchemist. The Emperor is destined to rule the world in the future. A demon disciple heard the words of the 2 demon disciples beside him and continued to speak. Yes, it's just a pity that our Emperor is a little less powerful, and his strength is only in the innate realm. TCH, you're stupid. Have you forgotten what Mr. Lu said yesterday? Mr. Lu is gifted with double pupils. He can see through any illusion and get to the essence. He is also the only wise man in our demon clan, and he can't even see through our Emperor. In terms of true cultivation, you don't really think that our Emperor is really in the innate realm. A demon clan disciple heard the disciples' words and immediately spoke out. Throughout the 10,000 demons square, such discussions were heard one after another. When Yi Xingqian slowly arrived at Wanyao Square, he was shocked by the scene in front of him. The entire 10,000 demons square has long been crowded with people. From a distance, it looks like a crowded area. Yi Xingqian remembers that there are not so many disciples of the demon clan who have just transformed. Just when Yi Xingqian was full of doubts, someone with sharp eyes saw Yi Xingqian coming and shouted loudly. Look, Emperor Zun is here. This sound instantly silenced the entire 10,000 demons square. A figure in the distance slowly walked over. That figure was dressed in white and had an aloof temperament. It was like a god descending into the wilderness, making people want to bend down and worship involuntarily. This is a kind of momentum, an invincible momentum, a kind of domineering power that makes me sit alone in the world. At this moment, all the demon clan members who saw this scene had excitement on their faces and looked at Yi Xingqian with even more admiration. All the way to 10,000 demons square, Yi Xingqian understood why there were so many people in the entire 10,000 demons square. Not only the transformed disciples of the demon clan, but also people from other demon clans came. Yi Xingqian even saw the great elder Wan Qinli, who pretended to maintain order, the great elders of the monster clan led by him, and the wise man Lu Wanquan of the monster clan, sitting among the monster clan disciples. Even in the void, there are some powerful monsters hidden. No wonder from a distance, you can see a dense mass of darkness. Looking at all the demon clan people below, with incomparable admiration and respect in their eyes, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and thought to himself. It turns out that being needed and recognized by others is such a wonderful feeling. Looking at the people below, Yi Xingqian calmed down and said, "Since I, the Emperor, have agreed to Elder Lu, today I will give a sermon to the demon clan's newly transformed disciples. From now on, all those who are listening will be silent and must not make any noise. Great Elder, if found, they will be driven away immediately." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Wan Qinli, who pretended to be there to maintain order, immediately faced the direction of Yi Xingqian, clasped his hands and said respectfully, "I will obey the Emperor's decree." At this moment, Yi Xingqian had a serious face and exuded a terrifying aura of a superior. That domineering attitude in heaven and earth appeared again, shocking all the people of the demon clan who had seen Yi Xingqian's aura. At this time, looking at the people of the demon tribe below, Yi Xingqian's face was serious, and his whole body exuded a terrifying and domineering aura of a superior. This kind of momentum shocked all the demon clan people below again. How could this be exuded by Shantian realm cultivation? This kind of terrifying domineering power cannot be exuded by just a random person. Their emperor is indeed not what he appears on the surface. Yi Xingqian looked at everyone's shocked look, raised his hand and asked everyone to sit on the square. As a peerless expert in the heavenly emperor realm, Yi Xingqian's understanding of the Tao has almost reached the top, especially his understanding of the way of the sword, and he can completely reopen one. A few random words can make the people of the demon clan below feel enlightened. After Yi Xingqian saw everyone sitting down, he sat down calmly, and then said calmly, "It is said that there are 3,000 great roads and thousands of small roads. In the final analysis, you have to recognize whether the road you are taking is suitable for you." Yi Xingqian's opening words had already made all the powerful demon clan men present shine with divine light in their eyes. Looking at everyone, Yi Xingqian did not stop and continued to speak out what he understood. At this moment, it is the luck of all the people of the demon clan. It is such a blessing to be able to hear the sermons of a strong man in the heavenly emperor realm. It was precisely because of this sermon that decades later, countless giants appeared in the demon clan, all of whom were extremely powerful men who shocked the world. The main road is hard to find, but the small road is easy to find. As the saying goes, all roads are clear. Once you see the road that suits you clearly, go step by step. Don't be complacent because of temporary success, and don't be discouraged because of temporary failure. As the saying goes, the road is endless, the sky is limitless, the road has no end, and the emperor is not the end. At this time, Yi Xingqian explained what he understood in the simplest and most understandable way. From simple to profound, Yi Xingqian seemed to be trapped in a certain artistic conception, and even the entire demon clan was brought into this artistic conception by Yi Xingqian. At this moment, Yi Xingqian's voice was like the sound of the great road, ringing in everyone's ears, thought-provoking and intoxicating. All the demon clan members, including those powerful demon clan warriors hidden in the void, could not help but sit down and immerse themselves in the sound of the great avenue. At this moment, in the entire monster clan territory, in the sky, purple energy spreads millions of miles eastward, and strange phenomena occur frequently between heaven and earth. The sun and the moon shine together, dragons and phoenixes sing together, flowers fall from the sky, and golden lotuses surge from the ground. And as time went by, Yi Xingqian spoke faster and faster, and the laws came one after another, as if they had been summoned by some kind, intertwined and manifested in the 9 heavens. At this moment, even Luo Qingxian, the ancestor of the demon clan's ancestral land and the queen's palace, appeared one after another. Looking at what was happening in the sky above the demon clan, shock appeared on his face. What did they see? They actually saw countless manifested laws of the great road in the void, as if these laws had received some kind of summons. This scene simply made these ancestors' souls tremble and their Taoist hearts become unstable. The great road is hard to find. This is a wise saying. If you want to practice the great law, it is like asking your father to tell grandma. These great laws will allow you to touch a small corner. Now, it has appeared openly and openly. How can this not shock these demon clan ancestors? Suddenly, an ancient voice sounded in their ears. Quiet your voice, sit cross-legged, and listen quietly to the voice of Emperor Zun's great Tao. You will benefit a lot. Hearing the ancient voice that came to mind, all the ancestors of the demon race, including Luo Qingshan, instantly widened their eyes. All of this was actually caused by Emperor Zun. They knew that Emperor Zun was giving a sermon to the demon clan disciples who had just transformed today, but they did not expect that they would make such a big noise. Seeing the flowers falling from the sky around them, golden lotuses emerging from the ground, several strange phenomena of heaven and earth, and the manifested laws of the Great Road, these ancestors did not want to delay. This is simply great luck. They all sat cross-legged in the void, slowly calmed down their hearts, and began to listen to the sound of the great avenue that Yi Xingqian emanated from his artistic conception. At this moment, the entire demon clan territory is slowly covered by purple energy. Various phenomena of heaven and earth occur frequently, and the laws of the great avenues are intertwined and manifested in the void. Yi Xingqian, who was sitting cross-legged on the square, had a calm expression on his face at the moment, and the sounds he kept uttering from his mouth were like the great truth, which resonated with the world. Many people from the demon clan sat there in the cross-legged position, listening intoxicatedly. Unconsciously, their understanding of the Tao became deeper and deeper. And those strong men of the demon clan, whose realm had not been loosened for a long time, miraculously began to loosen at this moment. The demon clan disciples who had just transformed around them had divine lights flickering behind them. Bang, 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 the sound is endless. Almost all the demon clan disciples who had just transformed had broken through a great realm unconsciously, and their aura instantly increased a lot. The ancestors of the immortal emperors sitting cross-legged in the void, as well as Luo Qingshan, slowly fell into Yi Xingqian's Tao. Yi Xingqian's understanding of the Tao was much deeper than theirs. The wise men of the demon clan asked Yi Xingqian to give lectures to the demon clan. These newly transformed disciples are really very discerning and worthy of being born with double eyes. Not only did it give these demon disciples who had transformed into a new form a new understanding of Tao, it would also be of great help to their future practice. It has also benefited many powerful demon clan men around them, making their understanding of the Great Road deeper. It was not until the sky was getting dark that Yi Xingqian slowly stopped. The vision of heaven and earth and the laws of the entire demon clan slowly disappeared into the 9 heavens. The ancestors of the immortal emperor realm were the first to wake up and looked at Yi Xingqian in the square below with shocked expressions. This time they were really shocked. They are all powerful immortal emperors, and their understanding of the Tao is already very deep. However, in just a moment, they were dragged into the Tao by Yi Xingqian's voice. Let them have a deeper understanding of Tao. Luo Qingshan's face was also shocked, but her eyes were full of surprise. She also gained a lot. The beautiful eyes looking at Yi Xingqian became more and more affectionate. No matter how mysterious Yi Xingqian was, she only knew that the man with aloof temperament sitting cross-legged below was her husband. This is enough. An hour later, all the powerful demon clan men who were sitting there woke up one after another, with shock and excitement on their faces. These strong men have more or less improved their realm. At this moment, if it were not for fear of disturbing them, the demon clan disciples who were still immersed in enlightenment would have already stood up and saluted Yi Xingqian to thank him. At this moment, everyone looked at Yi Xingqian with grateful eyes. It was not until 2 hours later that the demon disciples woke up with confused expressions. You must know that the more advanced a person is, the deeper his understanding of the Tao is, so the sooner he wakes up. However, those demon disciples who have just transformed have very low cultivation, and are more likely to fall into deeper levels of enlightenment. The demon clan disciples who slowly woke up felt that a great realm had broken through in their bodies. From the confusion at the beginning to the excitement later, everyone knew that all this was brought to them by Emperor Zun. Looking at Yi Xingqian, all the demon clan disciples knelt on their knees, bowed to Yi Xingqian as disciples, and shouted in unison. Thank you, Emperor, for your great kindness. Thank you, Emperor, for your great kindness. At the same time, those powerful demon clan men clasped their fists at Yi Xingqian, bowed, and said in unison. Thank you, Emperor, for the gift. Thank you, Emperor, for the gift. Seeing the excitement of the demon clan people, Yi Xingqian's face was calm. After letting them stand up one after another, he stood up and said calmly. As the saying goes, the avenue is endless and the cultivation is endless. After you go back, experience it carefully and you will gain more. As if he remembered something, what Yi Xingqian said next shocked all the people of the demon clan. At this moment, Yi Xingqian suddenly remembered the cultivation upgrade card rewarded by the system, and looked at the demon clan disciples below who had just transformed. Now, because of his preaching, they have all broken through to the realm of God transformation. They looked at Yi Xingqian with incomparable admiration. If he allowed them to break through to another level at this moment, he might directly become a god in their hearts. Looking at everyone, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said, "As the great elder here." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the great elder immediately appeared on the square, clasped his fists respectfully towards Yi Xingqian and said, "My subordinates are here, what are the emperor's orders?" "Great elder, how does the strength of our younger generation of demon clan disciples compare with that of the human race?" When everyone heard the emperor's question, they all lowered their heads in shame. The great elder, thousands of miles away, was slightly startled when he heard Yi Xingqian's question, but he still replied directly. "I would like to inform you, Emperor Zun, that we, the younger generation of the demon clan, are the top geniuses, and our strength is not inferior to the top geniuses of the human race. However, in terms of overall strength, the young disciples of the monster clan are not as good as the human race." Hearing the great elder's words, Yi Xingqian nodded slightly and asked aloud, "What is the overall strength of the younger generation of human race and disciples?" The great elder heard Yi Xingqian's question and immediately replied. Reporting to the emperor, most of the major forces in the human race and the younger generation of disciples are in the Thunder Tribulation realm or even the Mahayana realm. Of course, the top human race monster disciples may have already broken through to the heavenly immortal realm, or even the mysterious immortal realm. Basically, there won't be much difference. However, among all the major forces, there are secretly cultivated monsters. I don't know if there are any top-level monsters at a higher level. Hearing the words of the great elder, Yi Xingqian understood in his heart that now the top combat power between the demon clan and the human race is basically the same, and the middle-level combat power is not much different. The only difference may be the gap between the disciples. Don't underestimate this gap. In the future, you may be completely left behind by the human race just because of this gap. Because the younger generation is the future of the monster clan. Thinking of this, Yi Xingqian said to all the monster clan people below, "All the demon disciples who have just transformed, gather in front of me. The rest of the demon clan should leave this area. Your emperor, the boss, wants to give a gift to these demon clan disciples who have just transformed." Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, all the demon clan members immediately took action. In the blink of an eye, only the demon clan disciples who had just transformed were left in front of Yi Xingqian. Looking at Yi Xingqian at this moment, everyone has incomparable admiration in their eyes. Yi Xingqian preaching to them is equivalent to having a master-disciple relationship with these demon clan disciples, and they will all be proud of it in the future. The other demon clan people around them were full of envy. The gift given by Emperor Zun was by no means an ordinary gift. And although Emperor Zun is only in the innate realm, only fools believe that Emperor Zun is really in the innate realm. The Shantian realm preaching can improve their cultivation so much that even the demon disciples who have just transformed have all been promoted to the unified spirit transformation realm. Visions of heaven and earth appear frequently, and the laws of the Great Road appear. Even the immortal emperor could not achieve such a scene. Therefore, the faces of the demon clan members around them all had expressions of envy. These people of the monster clan have long been accustomed to the innate state shown by their Emperor Zun boss. It's fine that Emperor Zun likes it, but if anyone really regards Emperor Zun as an innate state, he must be a fool. Sure enough, their ideas were verified. Sure enough, just as they thought, the Emperor's boss once again created a miracle in front of them. But at this moment, these demon clan people seemed to have been mentally prepared for a long time. There was not much surprise on their faces, but the corners of their mouths kept twitching and their eyes were full of envy. Yi Xingqian waved his hand and said to the system in his heart, "System, use the cultivation upgrade card." Ding, the cultivation upgrade card is in use. Congratulations to the host for using it successfully. As soon as the system finished speaking, a golden light shield appeared in Yi Xingqian's hand, covering all the demon clan disciples who had just transformed. All the demon clan members felt the terrifying energy in the golden light shield. The next moment, divine light kept flashing inside the mask, and after a while, the mask disappeared. All the disciples of the demon clan were shocked to find that they had all broken through to the thunder tribulation realm. In just an instant, they broke through a great realm. From this moment on, the overall strength of the younger generation of disciples of the demon clan will not be inferior to that of the human clan. And these demon clan disciples who had just broken through looked at Yi Xingqian with excitement. At this time, in the eyes of these demon clan disciples, Yi Xingqian was like a god. Although the other people of the demon clan were shocked, they seemed to have been used to it. Others might be shocked, but if it was the emperor, they took it for granted. But the next moment, many immortal emperor ancestors, including Luo Qingxian, suddenly appeared on 10,000 demons square with serious expressions on their faces. Seeing the sudden appearance of the empress, the ancestors of the immortal emperors, and all the demon clan members, their expressions suddenly changed as if they suddenly understood something. And the scene turned to human territory. All the major forces are discussing the shocking scene that happened in the demon clan's territory. Not only are there frequent strange phenomena in the world, but even the laws of the Great Avenue have appeared in the void, and purple energy has spread millions of miles from the east. This shocked countless forces. Could it be that the monster clan has a peerless evildoer? The monster clan has been experiencing strange phenomena frequently recently. Could it be that the Great Age is approaching and the monster clan is about to rise? In the main hall of the Shangqing Palace, a middle-aged man with a jade-like complexion sat cross-legged on the main throne, exuding a terrifying aura, surrounded by the shadows of various mythical beasts, emitting thousands of rays of light, like an ancient god. High and above. Have you found out what happened to the demon clan? Why did the laws of the Great Tao manifest and all kinds of strange phenomena in the world occur frequently? A majestic voice sounded from the man with a jade-like complexion, speaking to many people below the hall who were emitting powerful auras. This man is none other than the Lord of Shangqing Palace, Wangfu Bubai, who is in the immortal emperor realm and is also one of the few 8th-level alchemists in the human race. Everyone below heard the voice of Wangfu not bowing, and a white-haired old man cupped his fists and said, "Palace Master, I have received news. I heard that today is the day when the demon clan emperor will preach to the demon clan disciples. I speculate that what happened in the monster clan territory must be related to the demon clan emperor." Hearing what the white-haired old man said, the middle-aged man frowned slightly, looked at the old man below and said, "The demon clan emperor. He is the human man that Elder Han Xuanluo mentioned when he came back, the husband of the female emperor Luo Qingxian." "Palace Master Qi, it is this son." Hearing the words of the white-haired old man, Wangfu Bubai frowned slightly, with a strange light shining in his eyes. Shangqing Palace is the only one who knows now that the husband of the demon empress is a human power. He looked at the white-haired old man and said, "The origin of this son is extremely mysterious. I have secretly sent people to investigate for a long time, but I have never found out the identity of this son. I even suspect that this son is most likely to be a member of the hidden giant holy cult. Elder Bai, isn't it the first auction of the Great Yan dynasty in more than 10 days? At that time, people from the Hidden World family and the giant holy sect will definitely be there. Then send someone to inquire and see if this son is a member of the Hidden World's holy religion. In addition, the elixirs recently sold by the monster clan are most likely made by this son. The husband of the demon clan empress is actually a human. If you spread this news, I believe many people will be interested." Wangfu Bubai's eyes flashed with a strange light, and he spoke to the white-haired old man below. Upon hearing Wangfu's words of refusal, the white-haired old man immediately clasped his hands into his fists and nodded in agreement, with an inexplicable look flashing in his eyes. After all, when Luo Qingxian came to the human race to gain experience, he offended many forces. I believe they would be more interested in Luo Qingxian's husband. At this moment, Wangfu Bubai's eyes exuded a strange light, and Elder Bai's eyes also flashed with an inexplicable light. I believe that many human forces must be very interested in the husband of the demon empress. And the scene turned, the demon clan was on top of 10,000 demons square. Everyone looked at the demon clan in the void with pale faces. At this time, the entire demon tribe was in the void, dark clouds were pressing down, the wind was howling, and endless darkness instantly enveloped the demon tribe's territory. Huge dark clouds continued to hover in the void of the demon clan, forming huge clouds of calamity that are flashing with countless blue thunder dragons. Each one exudes the terrifying power of death. The terrifying pressure made the demon clan below turn pale and tremble all over. All the people of the demon clan were immersed in joy, and they completely forgot that breaking through to the thunder tribulation realm requires experiencing the baptism of thunder tribulation. At this moment, although other members of the demon tribe also felt the terrifying pressure of this calamity cloud, they felt it much more. After all, these calamity clouds are not aimed at them. Instead, he aimed at the demon disciples who had just transformed. The demon clan disciples who were looking excited just now felt the terrifying pressure coming from the void. Their faces were all pale, and a feeling of facing death arose in their hearts. This feeling was very real, but it also made them very powerless, a kind of powerlessness of ants facing the way of heaven. Looking at the increasingly terrifying pressure above the demon clan, the immortal emperor ancestors of the demon clan all appeared in the 10,000 demons square in an instant. Looking at the terrifying calamity clouds in the sky with serious faces, they began to merge slowly, and faster. However, extremely complex emotions appeared in their eyes at this moment. They turned to look in the direction of Luo Qingshan, as if waiting for the demon. The clan's female emperor Luo Qingshan's decision was average. Yi Qingshan stood there, looking at the tribulation clouds flashing over the demon clan, and frowning slightly. Yi Qingshan could easily feel that these tribulation clouds were aimed at the newly transformed demon clan disciples below. Luo Qingshan also appeared next to Yi Qingshan, her face more serious than ever. She looked at Yi Qingshan, her eyes full of affection and reluctance, and said aloud, "Husband, please let Shang Wen and Shang Wushan brothers take my husband away from the demon clan and go to Wandan Pavilion to stay for a few days. My husband is very uneasy staying here." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Qingshan shook his head slightly and said softly, "Is it because of this calamity cloud in the sky? This calamity cloud will bring disaster to the demon clan. It actually makes that lady so serious." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Qingshan looked at Luo Qingshan seriously and asked softly. Looking up anxiously at the black clouds of calamity that had merged together and become bigger and bigger in the sky, Luo Qingshan, who understood her husband's character, hurriedly explained. "Husband, originally everyone who breaks through the thunder tribulation realm needs to undergo the baptism of the heavenly tribulation. After passing through the heavenly tribulation, heaven will send blessings, making all those who break through the thunder tribulation realm stronger physically, laying the foundation for the next heavenly tribulation. Base. Originally, it was a very good thing for these demon clan disciples to break through the realm of transformation into gods and enter the realm of thunder tribulation, but everyone has forgotten that so many people will experience the tribulation together, which will make the tribulation merge and become more powerful fusion of heavenly tribulation. If it were just an ordinary heavenly tribulation, relying on the powerful bodies of the demon clan, these demon clan disciples would definitely be able to withstand it. But now, with so many tribulations fused together, their intensity has exceeded the original tribulation countless times, and these disciples simply cannot withstand it. Quote, "We can't help them, otherwise the thunder tribulation of the same realm will come directly, and then the thunder tribulation will be even more terrifying, and even the entire demon clan may be wiped out in an instant." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Qingshan asked, "In such a situation, is there anything I can do about it?" Hearing Yi Qingshan's question, Luo Qingshan sighed slightly and said, "There are ways, either give up these demon clan disciples, or open the demon clan's mountain protecting formation, hoping that the demon clan's formation can help them survive this disaster. However, if we can't resist, the entire 10,000 demons square will probably be annihilated by flying ashes. The Chaos Furnace, the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower, and these demon clan disciples, I'm afraid. So my husband will follow the two brothers and leave as soon as possible. The other demon clan members must also leave 10,000 demons square. I hope the mountain guarding formation can defend this terrifying thunder tribulation. Otherwise, not only the demon clan's clan suppressing artifacts and chaos furnace, but also these disciples will." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, all the demon clan members had helpless eyes. It wasn't that they didn't want to help, but they really didn't dare and couldn't, otherwise they would really be harmed. If they take action, Tiandao will notice it and increase the intensity of the thunder tribulation based on the cultivation level of the person who takes action. By then, the fused thunder tribulation will probably be even stronger. The demon disciples also heard the words of Empress Luo Qingshan. Even though their faces were pale at the moment, facing the terrifying thunder disaster, these demon disciples still stood up with firm eyes. He bowed to Yi Xingqian and Luo Qingshan, cupped his fists and said, "To the Emperor and Empress, the disciples are willing to die for the sake of the monster clan. The clan-suppressing artifact and the chaos furnace are the foundation of the monster clan and must not be lost. Otherwise, even if the disciples survive, they will be the monster clan's eternal sinners. Please give the Empress an order to have everyone leave 10,000 Demons Square." After hearing the words of these demon disciples, everyone felt extremely heavy, knowing what these demon disciples were going to do. Only when the person targeted by the thunder tribulation dies will the thunder tribulation disappear automatically. Looking at the demon clan above, the thunder that kept ringing out, like the loud noise of the earth shattering, echoed in everyone's ears. The power of the terrifying thunder is like a sharp sword, cutting open cracks in the void above the demon clan. Countless terrifying thunders descend, as if carrying endless death, and will kill all the demon clan below in the next moment. Hearing the words of these demon clan disciples, everyone's eyes were filled with tears. They had just successfully transformed, and there were infinite possibilities for the future. Now he is willing to sacrifice himself for the future of the demon clan. How much courage does this require? Luo Qingshan's heart was extremely heavy at this time. As the empress of the demon clan, she was also the countless newly transformed disciples of the demon clan. One is the foundation of the future of the demon clan, and both are the future of the demon clan. Luo Qingshan really can't make a choice. However, as the empress, she had to make a choice. After looking at those powerful demon emperors and immortal emperors, Luo Qingshan's majestic voice sounded. "Ancestors, start the demon clan formation together with this emperor. All other people should leave the 10,000 demons square quickly. Shang Feng and Shang Wushan will lead the emperor to leave quickly. As the master of the demon clan, I will never sacrifice any of my demon clan disciples in exchange for the future of the demon clan." As soon as Luo Qingshan finished speaking, she was about to raise her hand to raise the mountain protecting formation, but she found a strong hand covering her. When she turned around, she saw that it was her husband. At this moment, the two brothers Shang Wenfa and Shang Wushan left the 10,000 demons square holding the best wine with smiles on their faces. The people of the demon tribe who left the 10,000 demons square saw Shang helpless and Shang Wushan, and even let Emperor Zun stay in the 10,000 demons square for a bottle of top-grade divine wine. Everyone looked at these two guys with angry faces. Kuei-Wa came directly to Shang Wenfa and twisted Shang Wenfa's ears 360 degrees, making Shang Wenfa hurriedly say, "It was the Emperor's boss who asked me to drink wine and watch the Emperor's magic tricks. The Emperor's boss said that he would make Lei Lai disappear and let me and the second child watch here." Hearing Shang Bu's words, the countless monsters around him became even more angry. Seeing the anger on the faces of many monsters around him, Shang Bu said, "Why are you angry? I believe in Emperor Zun. Since Emperor Zun has said it, he will definitely be able to do it." When Kuei-Wa heard Shang Wen's words, she became even more angry. She kicked Shang Wen's to the ground and said in a hateful voice, "Just listen to what Emperor Zun said. How can Emperor Zun solve such a terrifying fusion thunder catastrophe, and you still do tricks, you fool?" The bear who was kicked to the ground by Kuei-Wa was helpless and angry. He smiled innocently at Kuei-Wa and said, "I believe in Emperor Zun. Just like when I first knew that Emperor Zun could refine life-extending pills, it turned out that Emperor Zun knew how to refine life-extending pills." At this moment, when they heard Shang Fenghei's words, all the people of the demon tribe were shocked and turned their heads to look in the direction of 10,000 demons square. They really couldn't believe that such a terrifying thunder disaster could wipe out Emperor Zun. If this is true, Emperor Zun will simply be the eternal god in their hearts. At this moment, Yi Xingqian, who was on the 10,000 demons square, looked at Luo Qingshan's anxious look, smiled at him, and flew to the sky demon transformation tower. He put one hand behind his back and said one sentence, making everyone in the demon clan open their mouths and stand blankly on the spot, and the whole place fell silent for an instant. Even the roar in the void stopped abruptly. At this moment, Yi Xingqian's back looked like a god. At this moment, Feeling the terrifying coercion emanating from the void, Yi Xingchen looked calm, looked at Luo Qing with affectionate eyes, and said softly, "Madam, do you believe my husband?" At this moment, Luo Qingchen was slightly startled when she heard Yi Xingchen's words. She really didn't expect that Yi Xingchen would ask such a question under such circumstances. However, seeing the deep affection in Yi Xingchen's eyes, Luo Qingchen's anxious heart suddenly calmed down. She gave Yi Xingchen a charming look and said softly, "My husband is the person closest to Shen'er and the person Shen'er loves deeply. Of course I trust my husband the most." After hearing the conversation between the two, the entire demon clan was once again fed a wave of dog food by the two of them. Even the thunder tribulation in the void seemed to have eaten this wave of dog food, exuding an even more terrifying aura. It seems that the next moment, it will bombard down. Hearing Luo Qingchen's words, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly and scraped Luo Qingchen's nose affectionately in front of everyone. Luo Qingchen's face turned red instantly and she rolled her eyes at Yi Xingchen. Countless people from the demon clan around them, as well as the demon clan disciples in the Tianyao Square, instantly turned to stone when they saw this scene. Those demon clan disciples were almost crying. Is it really okay for the majestic female emperor and emperor of the demon clan to do this in front of so many people? These waves of dog food made them full, and they wished they could be punished by this wave of thunder. With a boom, the void exploded. The next moment, as if the voices of these demon clan disciples were received, the calamity cloud in the entire 10,000 demons square was completely integrated. In the dark clouds of calamity, thunder and lightning shuttled, like roaring dragons, rolling continuously. The deafening thunder made all the petrified demon people wake up instantly. Yi Xingchen raised his head and looked into the void, no longer staying, took one step forward, and instantly reached the top of the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower. At this moment, Yi Xingchen had his hands behind his back, his white clothes fluttering, moving in the wind, exuding an aloof aura. Like a god looking down on the world, an extremely domineering voice sounded. "Disperse." As soon as Yi Xingchen finished speaking, something shocking happened to all the demon clan members. The thunderous clouds that filled the sky with flashes of calamity that were so terrifying just now slowly receded in the blink of an eye, revealing the bright sky. At this moment, all the demon clan members below stood dumbly on the spot. The entire 10,000 demons square was silent. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the white-clothed figure standing on the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower. The back figure is mysterious in its fortitude, like an ancient god, standing between heaven and earth, making people feel awe. At this moment, all the demon clan members, even Luo Qingchen, had incomparable admiration in their eyes. This is the emperor of their demon clan, an emperor who only has the innate realm on the surface, but is extremely mysterious and powerful. In the Shenhuang continent, the only 9th-grade alchemist can produce the best divine elixir that can extend one's life for 100,000 years. By preaching at will, the emperor can cause visions of heaven and earth to appear frequently and the great road to appear. With a casual wave of his hand, many demon clan disciples can once again break through to a great level of emperor. It was the domineering emperor who made the terrifying thunder calamity retreat with just one word when the demon clan was in danger. At this moment, Shang couldn't help but laugh loudly and shouted, "Ha ha, ha ha, did you see it? Did you see it? I said that Emperor Zun can do it, You still don't believe it. Boss Emperor Zun said that it can be changed into nothing, and it can be changed into nothing." At this moment, all the people of the demon clan were awakened by the helpless voice of Shang. They looked at the receding terrifying clouds of calamity in the sky, and golden energy beams fell from the void and landed in the bodies of the demon clan disciples. At this moment, the cultivation levels of all the demon clan disciples who had just broken through to the thunder tribulation realm stabilized instantly, and directly reached the extreme level of the thunder tribulation realm. I believe that it won't take long to break through again without any instability. This is the benefit of experiencing the baptism of thunder tribulation. Although they have not experienced this terrifying thunder tribulation, heaven still sends blessings. The ancestors of the demon clan and the strong ones of the demon clan, looking at these young demon clan disciples, all the young demon clan disciples are at the ultimate level of thunder tribulation. This is the top existence in the entire Shenhuang continent. Even the top forces in the human race do not have so many thunder tribulation realm disciples. These disciples are the foundation of the monster clan and the future foundation of the monster clan. And what allows the monster clan to have all this is the figure in white standing there, the ninth grade alchemist of their monster clan, the affable, mysterious and powerful Emperor Boss. At this moment, Yi Xingqian felt the closeness from Tiandao and smiled slightly. Fortunately, Tiandao gave him face, otherwise he would really have no choice but to take action. With Yi Xingqian's cultivation, he has surpassed the limits of the Shenhuang continent, and he possesses the chaos body of the Tao like his own son. With such terrifying strength and background, how could Tiandao not give him face? So Yi Xingqian, with the idea of giving it a try, shouted out one word. Unexpectedly, it actually succeeded, and Yi Xingqian could clearly feel Tiandao's closeness to him, as if Yi Xingqian was Tiandao's best friend. Smiling at the sky again, in response to the law of heaven, Yi Xingqian ducked back to the 10,000 demons square. Suddenly, an ancient and vicissitudes of voice came from the depths of the demon clan. From today on, the Emperor Yi Xingqian will be the master of the demon clan. All the people of the demon clan will bow to him and treat him as the emperor. At this moment, the sudden appearance of an ancient voice made all the people of the monster clan look excited. Everyone bowed towards the depths of the monster clan and said, "I will obey the emperor's decree. I will obey the emperor's decree." Hearing the voice of the demon emperor Luo Tianhe, Yi Xingqian was about to refuse, but was pulled back by Luo Qingxian, who looked happy next to him. The next moment, all the people of the demon clan, except Luo Qingxian, including the ancestors of the immortal emperor, bowed to Yi Xingqian and said, "Meet the master of the monster clan. Meet the master of the monster clan." Looking at the excitement in the eyes of everyone around him, Yi Xingqian felt helpless. Looking at Luo Qingxian beside him, he saw that Luo Qingxian also had excitement in his eyes and said softly, "Husband, it's time for them to get up." Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian smiled helplessly. To be honest, he really had no interest in becoming a master of the demon clan, although with his strength, there was no problem. With a slight sigh, Yi Xingqian said, "Everyone, please get up." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, all the demon clan members stood up with excitement. Seeing Yi Xingqian's helpless look, Luo Qingxian burst into laughter. "Husband, there is no need to be like this. The master of the demon clan is just a noble status in the demon clan. Everyone, including the ancestors of the demon clan, needs to bow when they see him. He is the most noble person in the demon clan, and he is worthy of being called a master. It's not what my husband thinks. Teachers of the demon clan are completely different from teachers of the human clan. There is no need to preach to the people of the demon clan. Of course, with my husband's strength, preaching to the demon clan will definitely be very popular." Looking at her husband, Luo Qingxian said teasingly. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words and looking at the teasing look on Luo Qingxian's face, Yi Xingqian knew that it must have been his words to ward off the thunder just now that made Luo Qingxian suspicious, so he kept looking at him teasingly. Yi Xingqian was about to explain, but Luo Qingxian shook her head slightly, as if she knew what Yi Xingqian wanted to say. "Shen'er knows what your husband wants to say. Husband doesn't need to explain. Shen'er believes in her husband, just like she believes in herself, because you are Shen'er's husband. This alone is enough." Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian gratefully, his eyes full of affection, and nodded gently. The faces of all the people of the monster clan were full of excitement at this moment. As the master of the monster clan, no one would object to the emperor. Emperor Zun indeed has the qualification to become the master of the monster clan. Although I don't know the specific strength of Emperor Zun, being able to avert thunder catastrophe with just one word is not something that ordinary people can do. Moreover, he is also a 9th grade alchemist. There must be only one 9th grade alchemist in the entire Shenhuang continent, Emperor Zun. In other aspects, it has brought the chaos furnace to the demon clan that can automatically refine 3rd grade elixirs, which is a top quality divine wine comparable to immortal elixirs. He even preached to the younger generation of the monster clan, laying a solid foundation for them. With all of the above, Emperor Zun became the master of the monster clan, and no one would be dissatisfied. Even the ancestor of the immortal emperor was also in awe. Seeing the excitement in the eyes of everyone below, Yi Xingqian thought of the disciples of the demon clan, their courage to die for the sake of the demon clan, and the kindness in everyone's eyes. Yi Xingchen was very glad that he stayed in the demon clan. In the last life, I was involved in intrigues in the human race, and was harmed by the two people closest to me. After resurrecting my life, I actually felt unprecedented warmth in the demon race, and had a wife who cherished me. At this moment, Yi Xingchen felt a sense of belonging in his heart. Originally it was just because of Luo Qingshan, but now Yi Xingchen truly regards the monster clan as his home. There is no intrigue among the human race here, but only mutual support and sincerity. Yi Xingchen looked at the excitement and admiration in the eyes of the demon clan below. This was completely an emotion from the heart, not an act. With Yi Xingchen's strength, he could easily feel it. Looking at the people below, Yi Xingchen said aloud, "I'm happy today. I have a gift for you. I hope everyone likes this gift." Hearing that Emperor Zun had another gift, everyone's faces showed anticipation. Emperor Zun's gift surprised everyone every time. This time, I'm afraid it will be no exception. Sure enough, the next moment, a scene that shocked everyone happened. At this moment, when they heard that Emperor Zun had another gift, everyone's faces showed anticipation. Emperor Zun's gift surprised all of them every time. This time, I'm afraid it will be no exception. Sure enough, the next moment, a scene that shocked everyone happened. I saw Yi Xingchen with a smile on his face, and with a flip of his hand, a golden array appeared in Yi Xingchen's hands. As soon as this formation appeared, countless fairy powers poured in from all directions. Even the power of the fairy spirit in the void turned into a huge waterfall, falling from the void towards the formation where Yi Xingchen was. All the demon people around them instantly felt that the power of the fairy spirits around them was much stronger. The ancestors of the immortal emperor realm, their eyes lit up at the same time, and they said to Yi Xingchen in disbelief, "Emperor, is this the long-lost, ancient spirit gathering array?" After hearing the words of the ancestor of the demon clan immortal emperor, the expressions of all the surrounding demon clan changed drastically and they were filled with shock. Sure enough, Emperor Zun's gifts would shock them every time. After hearing the words of those immortal emperor ancestors, Yi Xingchen looked calm and nodded with a smile. Yes, this is the ancient spirit gathering array. It can independently gather the spirit energy between heaven and earth. If the spirit gathering array covers the area, the spirit energy will instantly increase several times. The 10,000 Demons Square is a place where disciples often gather, and the place is large enough. I will place this ancient spirit gathering array here. All demon clan disciples can come here to practice in the future. After Yi Xingchen finished speaking, he patted the ancient formation with golden light and was knocked into the 10,000 Demons Square by Yi Xingchen. At the same time, he said to the system in his heart, "System, use the ancient spirit gathering array." Ding! The ancient spirit gathering array was used successfully and has been automatically engraved into the demon clan's formation. As soon as the system finished speaking, a dazzling golden light flashed through, and the entire 10,000 Demons Square was instantly enveloped in golden light. Then the golden light disappeared into the void and disappeared. And everyone was surprised to find that the fairy spirit energy in the entire 10,000 Demons Square instantly increased several times, and its richness was only a little less than the ancestral land of the demon clan. At this time, even the ancestors of the immortal emperor could not sit still. In such a rich training place, if the disciples of the demon clan continue to practice here, I am afraid that their realm breakthroughs will be faster. Seeing everyone's shocked looks, Yi Xingchen said aloud, "Great Elder, Shang Wenfa, Shang Wushan, the three of you immediately check how big the area covered by the ancient spirit gathering array is." Upon hearing Yi Xingchen's words, the three of them immediately nodded in agreement and disappeared. About half the time of burning incense, the three people came back with excited faces. Looking at the excited faces of the three people, everyone looked expectantly, waiting for the three people's answers. Reporting to the emperor, the ancient spirit gathering formation is centered on the 10,000 Demons Square and spreads in all directions. It actually covers most of the core area of the Yunya Mountain Demon Clan. Even if there is no longer the 10,000 Demons Square, the intensity of the fairy spirit in the room for all the demon clan members has also increased several times. Hearing the answers from the three people, all the demon clan members showed excitement in their eyes. With such strong fairy spirit, even a pig can become an immortal by cultivating in such an environment. At this moment, the spirit energy of the demon tribe is not even as rich as that of the hidden giant holy cult. Night. After a busy day, Yi Xingchen finally lay down on the big bed in Fengqi Palace. Looking at Luo Qingshan, whose face was flushed and as cute as a kitten, Yi Xingchen felt proud in his heart. As if feeling her husband's proud mood, Luo Qingshan's beautiful face felt shy and she gave her husband a hard look. Luo Qingshan's eyes became even more shy when she thought of how her enemy had teased her just now. And Yi Xingchen was also thinking about it secretly, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised, and a look of pride on his face, as if he had done something to make Yi Xingchen feel proud and secretly happy. Luo Qingshan looked at Yi Xingchen, whose mouth was slightly raised. She still didn't understand what this enemy was thinking. She patted Yi Xingchen's chest in disobedience, her face flushed with embarrassment. After the two of them were joking for a while, Luo Qingshan suddenly became quiet, looked at Yi Xingchen with moist eyes, and said loudly, "Husband, thank you for everything you have done for the demon clan. Shanur is really touched and happy." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words and looking at Luo Qingshan with wet eyes, Yi Xingchen lovingly hugged Luo Qingshan into his arms. Kissing Luo Qingshan's forehead affectionately, she said softly, "We are husband and wife, and the husband is willing to do all this for his wife, because Shanur is his wife. This is enough." It's like the wife knew that her husband had a secret that he was hiding from her, but she never asked out loud. She only said this sentence, "Because I am your husband." Luo Qingshan knew that she had a secret, but she never asked about it. How could a woman who was so considerate and deeply in love with her not be moved and deeply loved by Yi Xingchen? At this time, after hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan hugged Yi Xingchen tightly, smiled slightly, with a weird look in her eyes, snorted softly, and said, "Humph, that's not the case with Shanur. Shanur now has questions to ask her husband. Husband, please don't use your words to coax Shanur." Looking at Luo Qingshan in his arms with a strange look in his eyes, Yi Xingchen felt infinite tenderness in his heart. As the Empress, Luo Qingshan can only reveal her truest side as a little girl in front of herself. That quirky look was just to make the guilt disappear in her heart. How could she not like such a smart woman? Looking at Luo Qingshan, Yi Xingchen's eyes were full of tenderness and he said softly, "If you have any questions, ma'am, just ask. My husband will definitely tell you everything he knows." Seeing the tenderness in Yi Xingchen's eyes, Luo Qingshan smiled charmingly and asked, "My husband must be very powerful." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen was slightly startled, with a mean expression on his face, and said directly to Luo Qingshan, "Don't you know whether your husband is strong or not?" Seeing her husband's mean look, Luo Qingshan was instantly ashamed. She still didn't understand that her husband had misunderstood her. Seeing Luo Qingshan's embarrassed look, Yi Xingchen waved his hand, and the whole room instantly darkened, and only Luo Qingshan's shy voice could be heard in the room. "Husband, husband, that's not what Shanur meant." Husband misunderstood Shanur's meaning. The next moment, the moon outside the window shyly hid in the clouds, and the whole room instantly became hot. Early the next morning, Luo Qingshan woke up slowly and looked at her husband, who was hugging her tightly like an octopus. Luo Qingshan smiled helplessly, with a shy face, and rolled her eyes at her husband. She has fully realized how powerful her husband is, and this enemy will play tricks on her, Luo Qingshan thought with a shy look. Suddenly, Qing'er's voice sounded outside the room. "Empress Qi, Xuantian sect is visiting." Chapter 51. At this moment, Luo Qingshan was looking at her husband with a shy face. Qing'er's voice suddenly sounded outside the door. "Information to the Empress, the Great Elder's message, and the Xuantian sect's visit." Hearing Qing'er's words, Luo Qingshan frowned slightly and said aloud, "I know, I brought my disciple here again this time." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words outside the door, Qing'er said with anger in her voice, "Empress Qi, Xuantian sect has brought more disciples this time, and they are all in the Thunder Tribulation realm and Mahayana realm. There are more than 10 disciples." Hearing Qing'er's words, Luo Qingshan frowned and said to Qing'er outside, "I know, let the Great Elder take them to the Lianyan Palace and entertain them." At this moment, Qing'er outside the door pouted with anger on his face. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, he sighed helplessly, responded, and turned around to leave. At this moment, Luo Qingshan, who was frowning slightly, was about to get up and leave quietly, but was pulled into his arms by Yi Xingqian, who was pretending to sleep. Looking at Yi Xingqian, who had woken up, Luo Qingxian's brows instantly relaxed, with a look of joy on her face, and she said softly, "Husband, are you awake?" Looking at Luo Qingxian, who looked happy, Yi Xingqian's eyes were full of doting, and he said softly, "Madam, my husband saw you frowning just now. Is it because of the Xuantian sect?" Seeing the doting in her husband's eyes and hearing her husband's words, Luo Qingxian nodded slightly. The Xuantian sect is a human force that borders our monster clan territory. It is considered powerful among the human clan. In ancient times, it was one of the top forces in the Divine Wilderness continent. It's just that it gradually declined for some unknown reason, but a dead camel is bigger than a horse, and Xuantian sect is still among the top powers. Because it is very close to the monster clan's territory, Xuantian sect often brings its disciples to visit. It is said to be a visit, but in fact it is just to let the disciples come to compete. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said, "Madam, the demon clan has more contact with the human race, and there are only benefits to the discussion. Why does my husband frown when he sees my lady?" Hearing her husband's words, Luo Qingxian also smiled helplessly, looked at Yi Xingqian, and said softly, "Husband, at first Shanur did feel that competing with the human race would be beneficial to the demon clan disciples, so when the Xuantian sect came to the demon clan, the entire demon clan was very happy and entertained them warmly. It turns out that Xuantian sect used the competition to bet against us, and had a condescending attitude. How could the demon clan disciples stand such provocation from them? It just so happens that the disciples they come to compete with are very strong. Every time, our demon clan loses the game, and we lose a lot of spiritual stones because of it. The Xuantian sect regards the demon clan as a group that can obtain spiritual stones at will. They will come here every once in a while. And it has always been a competition between disciples. We demon clan disciples have just transformed, and most of our strengths are in the golden elixir realm. We are no match for their Lei Lai realm and Mahayana realm disciples. This is also the shortcoming of our demon clan. Although the demon disciples are physically strong and can defeat the gods in the realm of transformation with their powerful bodies, they are invincible against the human disciples who are 2 realms higher. Therefore, they have been defeated by the Xuantian sect many times in a row. Got it. The Xuantian sect came again this time. They must have seen the strange phenomena in the world that happened to the demon clan in the past few days. They thought that the demon clan had some treasures coming out, and they wanted to use this excuse to fight against the autumn wind. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian understood that Xuantian sect didn't seem to be a good bird, and this was simply a robbery. As if he thought of something, Yi Xingqian smiled and said, "Madam, our newly transformed disciples have now reached the Thunder Tribulation realm. Even if they face the Mahayana realm, they can still fight. Xuantian sect may not be as happy as they want this time." Hearing her husband's words, Luo Qingxian was suddenly startled, as if she just remembered something. Her face suddenly became excited, and the corners of her mouth curled up slightly. He, when Shanur thought of Xuantian sect, he was so angry that he forgot about it. Fortunately, my husband reminded me that all of our demon clan disciples are no worse than disciples of any force. This time, we must make Xuantian sect bleed. Take a good breath of bad breath. After Luo Qingxian finished speaking, she stood up directly, showing her perfect posture. Looking at her husband with a smirk on his face, Luo Qingxian gave her husband a charming look. After cleaning up, he said directly to Yi Xingqian, "Husband, Shanur will go to Lianyan Palace to meet Xuantian sect first. After husband gets up, you can go and take a look if you like." After saying yes, he couldn't wait to head towards the direction of Lianyan Palace. Seeing his wife's irritable look, it was rare to see Luo Qingxian acting unsteady in front of outsiders. Yi Xingqian also smiled helplessly. It seemed that Xuantian sect had really offended Luo Qingxian. This time, I am afraid that Xuantian sect will really be left with nothing to eat. Yi Xingqian was lying on the bed, thinking of the wonderful Xiao Yin last night. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, and his heart was filled with tenderness. After getting up and packing up, he came to the window of the study room and felt the spirit aura of the demon clan that had now increased several times. Looking out the window, Yi Xingqian felt a sense of accomplishment in his heart at the wildly growing vegetation and various spiritual beasts due to the increase in fairy energy. He had his share of the credit for all this. Remembering that today's check-in had not yet been signed, Yi Xingqian said directly to the system. System, check-in starts today. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 1 million top-quality immortal stones, which have been stored in the system space for the host. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 1 million bottles of the best wine, which has been stored in the system space for the host. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 10 Immortal Emperor Guard cards. After the host uses the Immortal Emperor Guard card, a supremely powerful person in the Immortal Emperor realm will appear directly. He is absolutely loyal to the host and can do anything for the host and obey any order of the host. A series of pleasant sounds rang in Yi Xingqian's ears. When he heard the Immortal Emperor Guard card rewarded by the system, Yi Xingqian actually jumped up excitedly. 10 Immortal Emperor Guard cards are equivalent to 10 powerful Immortal Emperors. These are 10 powerful Immortal Emperors, not some cabbage on the roadside. Looking at the millions of top-quality Immortal Stones and the dazzling Immortal Emperor Guard card in the system space, Yi Xingqian suddenly had a bold idea in his mind. Find an opportunity to go to the human race. Maybe the auction of the Great Yan Emperor dynasty is a good opportunity. Thinking of this, Yi Xingqian's eyes exuded a shocking meaning, and a terrifying aura like an ancient emperor emanated from his body. The domineering aura of me sitting alone while everyone was standing made the surrounding space tremble slightly. At this moment, Yi Xingqian was like a domineering emperor, overwhelming the gods and suppressing them forever. At this moment, Yi Xingqian looked at the millions of top-grade immortal stones in the system space, as well as the Emperor's Guard card that exuded a dazzling light. A bold idea sprouted from Yi Xingqian's mind. Yi Xingqian, who had experienced in his previous life, knew the importance of strength. This strength includes not only his own strength, but also other factors. If only based on his own strength, Yi Xingqian can defeat the entire Shenhuang continent. Looking at the beautiful scenery of the demon tribe outside the window, Yi Xingqian felt an unprecedented impulse in his heart. In the last life, I worked conscientiously and diligently, but in the end, I was assassinated by my closest relatives because I didn't have strong strength. Now that he has resurrected his life and has everything he wants to protect, he must step to the top and lead his beloved to see the mountains and small mountains. At this moment, Yi Xingqian was exuding a majestic and domineering spirit unconsciously, like an ancient god, overwhelming the gods and suppressing the world forever. Now let's start with Xuantian sect. Looking at the scenery outside the window, Yi Xingqian's eyes exuded firmness and he thought to himself. The scene changed to inside the Lianyan palace. An old man with a proud face was sitting there with a comfortable expression on his face, as if he were sitting in his own sect. There were dozens of Xuantian sect disciples around him, all of them looked proud and looked like the best in the world. Feeling the demon clan's fairy spirit that suddenly increased several times, the white-haired old man secretly said in his heart. It seems that what the sect master expected is indeed good. In the past few days, within the demon clan, visions of heaven and earth have appeared frequently, and the Great Road has appeared. Something must have happened, otherwise it would be impossible for the fairy spirit energy to increase so much. Such a strong level, already comparable to the small world where the ancestor of Xuantian sect lives. And the elixirs sold by the demon clan recently are only first-grade elixirs, but their effects are extremely powerful. They are comparable to the third-grade elixirs from Shangqing Palace. The price is very cheap, but they are pills that have never appeared in the entire Shenhuang continent. Quote, on this trip to the monster clan, in addition to making a lot of money, I also want to find out the origin of this elixir. It would be great if I could get the elixir recipe. Haha, the demon race is born as a beast, but they want to be like the human race and don't overestimate their abilities. Although they can transform into human beings after experiencing the thunder catastrophe of transformation, they are still beasts in essence. I can make them obediently hand over a large number of spirit stones just for the sake of their so-called face. This time I will not only return with a full load, but also ask them to hand over the elixir obediently. With the elixir, there will be countless spiritual stones. By then, the Xuantian sect disciples will be even stronger. Especially the Holy Son, who was born with unfavorable luck. He unexpectedly obtained the inheritance of an ancient giant. He also possesses the holy body of the Emperor of Heaven and is domineering without boundaries. At a young age, he has been accepted by the ancestor and entered the small world to practice. I heard from the sect leader that the saint's strength has now broken through the Xuanxian realm and reached the golden immortal realm. With the extremely domineering holy body of the heavenly emperor, even among the top powers, among the disciples, he is also at the top. When the time comes, Xuantian sect, led by the Holy Son, will definitely return to the supreme glory of ancient times. Thinking of this, the white-haired old man couldn't help but laugh. The faces of the dozens of Xuantian sect disciples behind him were clear. I think the great elder must have thought about how to obtain more spiritual stones from the hands of the demon clan. The white-haired old man was none other than the great elder of Tianxuan sect, Nizan Bei, who was in the immortal emperor realm. Suddenly a figure in black appeared in the Lianyan palace. It was Wei Donglai, the leader of the bodyguard of Empress Luo Qingshan. He glanced at Nizan Bei, who was sitting there, and said, "Elder Ni, the Empress invites you to follow me to the Cloud Summit Arena. The Empress and all the demon elders are already waiting there." Seeing the figure in black, Nizan Bei knew Wei Donglai. After all, he had been to the demon clan several times and he knew the leader of the Empress's guard. Hearing Wei Donglai's words, Nizan Bei smiled slightly and said, "Chief Wei, I haven't seen you for a long time. Your strength is getting stronger and stronger. When the leader of Wei appears, I don't notice at all. I admire you." After listening to Nizan Bei's words, Wei Donglai's eyes flashed with a strange light, and he just said softly, "Elder Ni, please." Seeing the strange light shining in Wei Donglai's eyes and Wei Donglai's words, Nizan Bei actually frowned slightly. If it were in the past, Wei Dong would have said a few polite words, and then he would have said a few more words in a flamboyant manner after being praised by himself. Then it would be very possible for him to get a lot of information from Wei Dong here. Now Wei Donglai only replied with a word of, "Please," and there was a strange light in his eyes, which made Nizan Bei's heart move slightly. In the end, he smiled and nodded, then stood up and led the Xuantian sect disciples towards the Yundian arena. At this moment, countless demon clan disciples were already sitting on the golden stands around a huge arena. Right in front of the arena, Empress Luo Qingshan was sitting on the main seat with a calm expression, waiting for the arrival of the people from the Xuantian sect. After a while, Luo Qingshan saw people from Xuantian sect, led by Wei Donglai, arriving below his position. Seeing the beautiful demon empress sitting there calmly, exuding the terrifying pressure of the immortal emperor, Nizan Bei and the Xuantian sect disciples did not dare to look directly at them anymore and immediately bowed to Luo Qingshan. A gift. This gift is a sign of respect for the powerful immortal emperor. Seeing Nizan Bei below, Luo Qingshan's majestic voice sounded, "Elder Ni, no need to be polite, please sit down." After hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Nizan Bei led the Xuantian sect disciples to sit on the stands below. On the stands, the immortal tea spirit fruit was already prepared. After Nizan Bei sat down, he said impatiently, "Empress, this time I am bringing Xuantian sect disciples to the monster clan for discussion and exchange. Should we start directly according to the rules we set before?" Looking at Nizan Bei, who had just sat down, looking a little impatient, Luo Qingshan raised the corners of her mouth slightly, as if she had thought of something happy, and said aloud, "The Xuantian sect is a guest from afar, so Elder Ni should set the rules first." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Nizan Bei's eyes flashed with the light of a successful conspiracy. He chuckled and said, "In this case, it's better to follow the past rules, but this time, I am entrusted by the sect master and hope to cooperate with the demon clan." Hearing Nizan Bei's words, Luo Qingyan instantly had an idea in her mind, smiled slightly, and asked aloud, "Cooperation. I wonder how the master of Xuantian sect wants to cooperate with the demon clan." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Nizan Bei also smiled slightly and said, "The elixirs sold by the Wandan Pavilion recently established by the demon clan are hoped to be exclusively represented by Xuantian sect. As the top force of the human race, Xuantian sect will definitely be able to quickly occupy the human market with the 3 elixirs of the demon clan. Of course, if the Empress is willing, Xuantian sect can also sell the elixir recipe to Xuantian sect at once, and Xuantian sect can also purchase various medicinal materials for refining the elixir from the demon clan. What does the Empress think? Hearing Nizinbei's words, all the demon clan disciples around them had angry faces. This Xuantian sect is so shameless. The demon clan's elixirs are from Emperor Zun and have nothing to do with Xuantian sect. I wanted to become an agent when I first came up, and even wanted to buy prescription pills. This was simply wishful thinking. Hearing Nizinbei's words, Luo Qingshan understood clearly. The matter of the elixir should be discussed separately after the discussion between the disciples is over. After hearing the words of the Empress, Nizinbei also knew about this matter and should not act too hastily. It seemed that he could only try the sect leader's method. Random smiled slightly and said aloud, "In this case, I have a request. This time, we will only have one competition between disciples. However, I hope that this time we can have more luck." "Oh, what kind of lottery? How big the lottery?" "The demon clan has accepted it." "If the demon clan told the lottery, I'm afraid Xuantian sect wouldn't dare to accept it." At this moment, a figure in white walked slowly towards the direction of the Yundian arena. Seeing this white-clothed figure, the demon clan disciples in the stands showed admiration in their eyes. When Nizinbei heard the words, he turned around and saw that he was a young man with a handsome appearance and an extraordinary temperament, as if he was an immortal descended from the 9 heavens. Seeing this man, Nizinbei frowned slightly. He thought to himself, "What a fine young master." At this moment, looking at the figure in white, Nizinbei frowned slightly and thought to himself, "What a fine young master." But Luo Qingshan, who was sitting in the main seat, had a smile on her lips and tender eyes. Looking at the man in white who came here, Nizinbei discovered that this man turned out to be a human whose strength had only reached the innate realm, and he couldn't help but secretly thought, "Who is this person? What a loud tone." The next moment, a scene appeared that shocked everyone in the Xuantian sect. All the demon disciples, as well as the demon masters in the void, all respectfully faced the man in white and said, "Greetings to the Emperor. Meet the Emperor." The man in white turned out to be the husband of the female emperor of the demon clan, because only the husband of the female emperor was qualified to be called an emperor by the demon clan. Hearing the words of the demon clan man, Nizinbei was calm on the surface, but in his heart he was extremely shocked. This young master Ru Yujia turned out to be the husband of the female emperor of the demon clan. The empress of the demon clan got married, and Dao Dao came to congratulate her in person. This incident shocked countless forces, and they even conducted secret investigations, but found nothing in the end. Rumors even spread out from the Shangqing Palace, saying that the empress's husband was a human race. After hearing this, other forces scorned the Shangqing Palace's virtues. But he didn't expect that the rumors in Shangqing Palace were true, and the husband of the demon empress was actually a human. However, after seeing this strength, Nizinbei felt secretly happy in his heart, while all the Xuantian sect disciples looked at it with expressions of ridicule and jealousy. "It turns out to be the emperor of the demon clan. I'm so polite." Looking at the young man in front of him, Nizinbei's eyes flashed with an imperceptible hint of ridicule. An ant in the Shantian realm got lucky and became the emperor of the monster clan. He didn't know how to hide his identity well. Now he is even more shameless and gossips. He is still too young. As if Yi Xingqian didn't hear Nizinbei's words, he walked past Nizinbei calmly and ignored Nizinbei. At this moment, all the disciples of Xuantian sect showed anger, but Nizinbei's eyes flashed, and as expected, he didn't care at all. But Yi Xingqian came to Luo Qingshan, raised his hand to signal to all the demon clan members, and asked them to sit down. Giving her husband a charming look, Luo Qingshan raised the corners of her mouth slightly and said to Nizinbei, "Elder Ni, as my husband said, if the Xuantian sect wants to add any extra bonus, the demon clan will accept it." Looking at the empress with a calm face and an inexplicable light shining in her eyes, Nizinbei had a bad premonition in his heart at this moment. As a powerful immortal emperor, this feeling would never appear easily. Nizinbei turned his head and looked at the demon clan disciples on the stand. It didn't matter. Nizinbei was instantly shocked, with a look of disbelief on his face. The demon clan disciples in the stands were all in the Thunder Tribulation realm, and there were even several Mahayana realm disciples among them. Seeing this, Nizinbei turned to look at the demon clan empress. Only then did he understand the inexplicable light in the Empress's eyes. Although Nizenbei was shocked, a trace of imperceptible pride flashed deep in his eyes, as if he had seen through everything, and thought to himself, "Ha ha, this is the confidence of this little girl Luo Qingshan. You think that if all the disciples have broken through to the Thunder Tribulation realm, they can definitely defeat the Xuantian sect disciples. But something must have happened to the monster clan, otherwise it would be impossible for all the disciples to break through to the Thunder Tribulation realm just after they transformed. According to the previous situation, the demon clan's disciples would only be able to reach the divine realm after they just transformed. And the demon clan's current fairy spirit energy is as strong as any top power in the small world. You must go back and report this matter to the sect leader." Looking at Luo Qingshan's confident expression, Nizenbei thought to himself, "Ha ha, in that case, I will simply use the trick to solve the problem at once, so that you can understand that the human race is the ancestor of the trick." Although the demon clan disciples all broke through to the Thunder Tribulation realm, which shocked Nizenbei, but this time, among the young disciples of the Xuantian sect, there was a disciple of the immortal realm. Regarding this competition, Nizenbei was 100% sure. After looking at Yi Qingshan, Nizenbei said proudly, "Empress, in this case, I just said it directly. Xuantian sect is willing to give 2 kinds of 4th grade elixir formulas as a bonus, plus 100 million top grade spiritual stones. I don't know if the demon clan, haha, dare to take it, no." As soon as Nizenbei finished speaking, the entire Yundian arena suddenly screamed in surprise. Even the disciples of Xuantian sect looked shocked. 2 kinds of 4th grade elixir recipes and 100 million top grade spiritual stones. Such a fortune can be said to be a huge gamble. These 2 4th grade elixir formulas were obtained by the Holy Sun from the inheritance of ancient giants, and their value is immeasurable. This time when he came to the monster clan, Xuantian sect leader specially asked Nizenbei to bring them. There are also 100 million top-grade spiritual stones, so that the demon clan can also take out 3 first-grade elixir recipes as a bonus. When the time comes, there will be an immortal realm disciple to bless them. Even if there is an emergency in the demon clan, the immortal realm disciple can also make sure nothing goes wrong. At this moment, after hearing Nizenbei's words, Luo Qingshan's eyes flashed with light, but Yi Qingshan smiled and thought to himself, "It seems that the Xuantian sect came well prepared this time, and actually won such an amazing fortune. I think they must be fully prepared." At this moment, before Luo Qingshan could speak, Yi Qingshan smiled slightly and said, "Since Xuantian sect is willing to send so much spiritual energy to the demon clan, as well as 2 kinds of 4th grade elixirs, how can the demon clan refuse to accept it? This lucky demon clan has accepted it." Hearing Yi Qingshan's words, Nizenbei smiled in his eyes and turned to look at the Empress Luo Qingshan standing aside. Seeing Nizenbei looking at her, Luo Qingshan smiled slightly and said, "Emperor can represent the entire demon clan. Since the Emperor has spoken, the demon clan has accepted it and is also willing to give out 100 million top-grade spiritual stones and 3 first-grade elixir recipes as the prize for this competition. I don't know what Elder Ni thinks." Quote. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Nizenbei smiled slightly and said, "Since the Empress has spoken, I should agree." After Nizenbei finished speaking, he turned to a young disciple behind him and said, "Yi Bai, it's up to you to end this sparring match and have a showdown with your demon brother." As soon as Nizenbei finished speaking, a young man in black clothes with a cold face clasped his hands respectfully and nodded in agreement. Then, it turned into a stream of light and appeared on the Cloud Peak arena in an instant. The speed was so fast that none of the demon clan disciples noticed this person's figure. "So fast, so strong," all the demon clan disciples exclaimed in their hearts. Looking at the shocked expressions of the monster clan disciples, Nizenbei looked proud, and the Xuantian sect disciples behind him all looked proud and arrogant. Mu Yebai is among their younger generation of disciples. Apart from the Holy Sun, he is the most powerful genius. He has been following his ancestor to practice in his ancestral land. This time when he came to the monster clan, the sect leader specially asked Mu Yebai to follow him in order to prevent any unexpected events occur. Luo Qingshan just glanced slightly and found that this person was actually an immortal. She frowned slightly, looked at Nizenbei and said loudly, "The Xuantian sect deserves to be the top force. Among the young disciples, there are actually disciples with such strength. It seems that Elder Ni is well prepared this time. After hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Nisanbei smiled slightly and said. The Empress laughed at this. Yi Bai also had a chance. His strength is worthy of breaking through to the immortal realm. But I think the demon clan is also at the top level. There should be many disciples of the immortal realm. Nisanbei's purpose in coming to the Yao clan this time is to see if there are top geniuses among the younger generation of Yao clan disciples, so as to check the strength of the younger generation of Yao clan disciples. Hearing Nisanbei's words, Luo Qingshan frowned slightly and thought to herself. It seems that this time, we can only put down the genius of the demon clan who cultivated in the demon clan's ancestral land. Otherwise, I am afraid that none of the demon clan disciples in the stands can be his opponent. Just as Luo Qingshan was about to speak, a calm and domineering voice came out. It made all the people from the monster clan look excited, but the people from the Xuantian sect had expressions of shock and surprise. At this moment, looking at the young man on the ring, Luo Qingshan knew clearly that none of the demon disciples in the stands could be his opponent. It seemed that the only way to deal with the genius of the demon clan who was cultivating in the ancestral land was to die. Just as Luo Qingshan was about to speak, a domineering voice rang out. This matter is something I, the Emperor, have agreed to do, and I, the Emperor, should personally compete. At this moment, Yi Xingqian, who had been silent, suddenly stood up and spoke domineeringly. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, excitement appeared on the faces of all the demon clan disciples, while shock and surprise appeared on the faces of the Xuantian sect members. When Nisanbei heard Yi Xingqian's words, he was slightly startled and looked at Yi Xingqian. At this moment, Nisanbei realized that Yi Xingqian was so pleasing to the eye, and couldn't help but said. Of course Emperor Zun can also compete. After all, it is a competition between young people. However, Emperor Zun is at the innate realm. I can let Yi Bai also suppress his cultivation to the innate realm. This is only fair. Hearing Nisanbei's words, Yi Xingqian looked calm and didn't even look at Nisanbei. Nisanbei was secretly happy, but he pretended to be unhappy on the surface. After all, no one would be too happy if he did this. Although I was secretly happy, I still had to pretend on the surface. This is also what he hopes to see. The husband of the dignified demon empress is just a lowly human, but he is still a young man who does not know the heights of the world. It seems that the Empress Luo Qingshan actually values his opinion very much. From this, Emperor Zun, the future of the demon clan can be imagined. Even if Dao Dao comes in person, it doesn't matter if he congratulates him. Thinking of this, Nisanbei couldn't help but laugh. Realizing that he had lost his composure, Nisanbei immediately stopped smiling and put on a displeased expression. But Nisanbei didn't know that everything he thought, including his conspiracy, had been seen through by Yi Xingqian from the beginning. Yi Xingqian, an outsider for 2 generations, looked at Nisanbei who looked like a clown. His eyes were full of smiles, and Yi Xingqian finally understood why clowns always make people happy. Giving Luo Qingshan a reassuring look, Yi Xingqian took one step forward and was on the stage in an instant. The speed was so fast that neither Luo Qingshan nor Nisanbei noticed it, as if Yi Xingqian was already on the Yundian arena. At this moment, Nisanbei frowned slightly, and was shocked in his heart. The bad feeling resurfaced again, and he hurriedly said, Mu Yebai, since the Emperor didn't say anything, I think he is very confident in his own strength, so you can compete with the Emperor with your immortal level strength. Pay attention to your propriety. At this moment, Nisanbei didn't care about the disdainful looks of the demon clan people around him. There was absolutely no room for mistakes in the 4th grade elixir recipe and 100 million top grade spiritual stones. Since Yi Xingqian broke through himself and decided to reach the top, the seeds of invincibility in his heart have sprouted, and bold ideas have taken root in his mind. In this life, I should lead the demon clan, stand on the top of the mountain, and see all the mountains and small mountains at a glance. Looking at Yi Xingqian who suddenly appeared on the ring, Mu Yebai also frowned secretly, looking at the man who only had the strength of the immortal realm. Mu Yebai had to admit that the man in front of him was indeed unparalleled in temperament and handsome in appearance. He was a little jealous. No wonder the demon empress, such a beautiful woman, would fall in love with him. It's just that in the Shenhuang continent, strength speaks for itself after all, and the strength of the Shantian realm is just an ant after all. Looking at Yi Xingqian, Mu Yebai said contemptuously. Although you are the emperor of the demon clan, since you are going to compete in the competition, no matter your status in the arena, you are a person who is slightly stronger than an ant in the innate realm. Who gave you the courage to face me in the immortal realm? After Mu Yebai finished speaking, a huge stream of fairy energy spurted out from his body, forming a huge gas circle that vibrated in all directions, bringing up bursts of smoke and dust on the arena. Yi Xingqian looked at the contempt in Yi Mubai's eyes, raised the corners of his mouth slightly, as if looking at a fool, looked at Mu Yebai and said, "Oh, Shantian realm, have you ever seen the real Shantian realm?" Seeing Yi Xingqian looking at him as if he were a fool, Mu Yebai had never experienced such contempt. In the Xuantian sect, apart from the Holy Sun, he was definitely the one who was worshipped wherever he went. Now that he was so despised by Yi Xingqian, how could he hold back? Looking for death, I will let you experience the power of the immortal realm first. After Mu Yebai finished speaking, the terrifying aura of the immortal realm exploded, and he pressed directly towards Yi Xingqian, trying to push Yi Xingqian to the ground with absolute pressure. The dignified emperor of the demon clan was pressed to the ground by a disciple. The face of the entire demon clan was equivalent to Mu Yebai being pressed to the ground and rubbed, and the general was sent out. I am afraid that the demon clan will no longer have face in the divine wilderness. The mainland has gained a foothold. Mu Yebai's move cannot be described as insidious. He really wanted to see the reaction of the demon clan disciples in the stands around him. Mu Yebai enjoyed that very angry but helpless look. At this moment, Mu Yebai seemed to have seen the expressions of the demon disciples, and looked at the demon disciples on the surrounding ring with a happy face. But he was surprised to find that all the demon clan disciples looked at him as if they were looking at fools, which made Mu Yebai slightly stunned. He instantly turned his head to look in the direction of Yi Xingqian, only to find that Yi Xingqian was standing there quietly, seemingly not reacting at all to his immortal realm aura. Impossible. How is it possible in the Shantian realm to withstand the aura and pressure of a strong person in the immortal realm? It's impossible. Mu Yebai almost couldn't believe his eyes and exclaimed. After hearing Mu Yebai's words, Yi Xingqian still stood there with a calm face, and the same words sounded. Have you ever seen the true innate realm? Anything can happen here with me. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Mu Yebai actually laughed, a divine light lit up, and a high-grade spiritual sword appeared in Mu Yebai's hand. Holding the spiritual sword in his hand, Mu Yebai instantly calmed down a lot. He hummed softly, and a huge amount of fairy energy rose up from his body. The spiritual sword in his hand turned into countless divine lights, carrying supreme power, as if the energy was split in the void, and slashed towards Yi Xingqian. The sword breaks the sky. What Mu Yebai used turned out to be Xuantian sect's sect-suppressing martial art, Xuantian sword art. Seeing Mu Yebai carrying a terrifying sword with supreme power and slashing towards him, Yi Xingqian stood calmly on the spot with a calm look on his face. Luo Qingxian looked at this terrifying sword and showed worry. Although she believed that her husband was definitely not in the innate state, but after all, she had never seen it with her own eyes, so her face still showed worry involuntarily. Nizan Bei, who was sitting there, also had a nervous look on his face, secretly hating Mu Yebai for being so arrogant that he used such a terrifying sword regardless of the other person's identity. Although life and death are determined in the arena, if the demon emperor is really killed with one sword, then all of them will not be able to leave alive. So he sat there with a nervous look on his face, ready to take action at any time to stop Mu Yebai's sword. However, Yi Xingqian's mouth was slightly raised at this moment, and his eyes were full of ridicule. Seeing the ridicule in Yi Xingqian's eyes, Mu Yebai became even more angry. The power of the fairy spirit in his body was output wildly, making the power of this sword even more terrifying. But at this moment, Yi Xingqian's voice came out, with endless ridicule. You actually used a sword in front of me. It seems that you really know nothing about swords. The next moment, as soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, a scene that shocked everyone appeared. At this moment, seeing Mu Yebai's terrifying sword slashing towards him, Yi Xingqian raised the corners of his mouth slightly with a look of ridicule on his face. You actually used a sword in front of me. It seems that you really know nothing about swords. The next moment, as soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, a scene that shocked everyone appeared. I saw Yi Xingqian standing there calmly, stretching out one hand, turning into a sword finger, and pointing towards Mu Yebai's terrifying sword strike. This finger is simple, without a trace of fairy power or fireworks. The next moment, there was a boom, accompanied by a scream, and the entire arena was instantly filled with smoke and dust. A figure retreated at a high speed, and blood spilled into the void. The smoke and dust dispersed, and on the ring, a figure in black was seen, kneeling on the ground, with blood spurting out from his mouth. The spiritual sword in his hand disappeared, leaving only the hilt in his hand. It was Mu Yi, a disciple of Xuantian's sect in the immortal realm, white. This scene shocked everyone. Nizinbei rubbed his eyes and looked at all this in disbelief. All the Xuantian sect disciples behind him widened their eyes and opened their mouths. The extremely powerful senior brother Mu in their eyes was kneeling there like a dead dog. On the other hand, the demon clan emperor was standing there with his hands behind his back and a calm expression, without any change. Even the white clothes he wore were not stained with a trace of dust. With just one move, Xuantian sect's immortal realm disciple Mu Yebai was defeated. At this moment, Mu Yebai was kneeling on his knees, staring at the figure in white in front of him. He wanted to say something, but finally couldn't bear it anymore. His eyes went dark, and he fainted. Nizinbei appeared on the ring and found that Mu Yebai was seriously injured but not in danger of life. He casually put a pill into Mu Yebai's mouth. After picking up Mu Yebai, who fainted and appeared on the high platform, Nizinbei looked at Yi Xingqian, who was standing there calmly, and said, "As expected of the emperor of the demon clan, I'm afraid the emperor has a treasure that conceals his cultivation. Otherwise, even I would not be able to detect the emperor's true cultivation." Hearing Nizinbei's words, Yi Xingqian spoke out for the first time. "Elder Ni is overthinking. I am only in the innate realm. Where can I find treasures that cover my cultivation? How rare are these treasures? Elder Ni should know that I am only in the innate realm." Divine consciousness swept over Yi Xingqian again, and Nizinbei discovered that there was no trace of treasure on Yi Xingqian. The demon emperor was really only in the innate realm. Nizinbei frowned. He really couldn't believe it in his heart, but his divine consciousness of the divine emperor realm was absolutely unmistakable. The demon clan emperor was indeed an innate realm. At this moment, Yi Xingqian, who had flown back to the high platform, looked at Nizinbei, who was frowning, and thought to himself, "HMPH, playing tricks with me and asking you to guess. You can guess whatever you want. Anyway, I am in the Shantian realm, let alone the God Emperor realm. Even if the powerful Jade Emperor comes, you will never be able to see through my true cultivation." Looking at Yi Xingqian, who looked calm, Yi Xingqian also looked at Nizinbei with a smile on his face. At this time, Nizinbei suddenly realized when he saw the divine light emanating from Yi Xingqian's eyes. His eyes widened instantly, and then he smiled slightly and sighed helplessly. The divine light emanating from this man's eyes is filled with incomparable confidence, and his temperament has the domineering air of a superior person. How could such a person be so simple? Presumably, all of his plans have been seen through by this son from the beginning. Everything that has happened to the demon clan recently is definitely inseparable from this son. It's just that this boy's strength is indeed in the innate realm, which really puzzles Nizinbei. How could Nizinbei know? Not to mention that he can't see through it. Even if the ancient gods come, Yi Xingqian can't see through it as long as he doesn't want to. He said helplessly to Yi Xingqian, "You are worthy of being the emperor of the demon clan. I am too self-righteous. I admire you. I admire you. I hope I have the opportunity to learn from you again." Then with a wave of his hand, 2 golden pill prescriptions and a storage ring appeared in front of Luo Qingxian, and said, "In this competition, Xuantian sect has lost. I am willing to admit defeat. I have 2 kinds of 4th grade elixir formulas and 100 million top grade spiritual stones. Please check them with the Empress." As soon as Nizinbei finished speaking, all the demon disciples in the stands burst into loud cheers. They were so happy that Emperor Zun finally gave them a breath of evil. Hearing the shocking cheers, the corners of Nizinbei's mouth twitched. The Xuantian sect disciples behind him no longer had the arrogance they had just before, but looked miserable. It was really shameless to stay in the monster clan any longer. He nodded slightly to the Empress and Yi Xingqian, rolled up the Xuantian sect disciples, and Nizinbei's figure disappeared. Seeing Nizinbei leaving in embarrassment, Yi Xingqian and Luo Qingxian smiled at each other, while Yi Xingchen turned to look in the direction Ni Zhenbei left with contempt in his eyes. Others may not be able to find out, but who is Yi Xingchen? When Ni Zhenbei left, he lowered his head for a moment, and Yi Xingchen clearly caught the killing intent deep in his eyes. Looking at the direction Ni Zhenbei was leaving, Yi Xingchen secretly thought, "It's best not to provoke this emperor, otherwise Xuantian sect really has no need to exist." At this moment, Yi Xingchen's eyes were filled with divine light, extremely domineering. Turning around and looking at the cheers of many demon clan disciples around her, Luo Qingshan looked at Yi Xingchen, her eyes full of tenderness. "Husband, since it is your husband who wins the prize, then these prizes belong to you." After Luo Qingshan finished speaking, 2 golden pill prescriptions and a storage ring were handed over to Yi Xingchen. And all the people of the monster clan looked at all this without the slightest hint of jealousy in their eyes. This was all what the emperor deserved. Today's Yi Xingchen is simply a godlike existence in the eyes of the demon clan disciples. Yi Xingchen looked at the 2 golden 4th grade elixir prescriptions in his hand, slightly pursed his lips, and said to Luo Qingshan, "Madam, these 2 4th grade elixir recipes are too rubbish. When our demon clan needs them, my husband will refine them for us demon clan. These 2 elixir recipes can be auctioned directly. They should have some value." Yi Xingchen put the golden elixir into Luo Qingshan's hands and said aloud. Then he looked at the storage ring in his hand, and with a sweep of his consciousness, he saw the top-grade spiritual stones inside. Yi Xingchen didn't feel at all that there were millions of top-grade fairy stones lying in his system space. Looking up at the demon clan people around him, with burning admiration in his eyes, Yi Xingchen said aloud, "As the great elder here." Upon hearing Yi Xingchen's words, the great elder appeared beside Yi Xingchen from thousands of miles away. He clasped his hands in fists and bowed in salute, waiting for Yi Xingchen's instructions. "Great Elder, all the 100 million top-quality spiritual stones will be used as training benefits for the demon clan disciples. Now the demon clan's fairy spirit energy is as rich as the ancestral land. It is the time to practice hard and break through the realm. There are disciples of the Xuantian sect who can break through to the immortal realm, so we demon clan disciples can do the same." Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, all the people of the monster clan's eyes widened. This was 100 million top-grade spiritual stones. The emperor didn't give it up at all, and handed it over to the great elder. As a disciple of the monster clan, he would get the benefits of cultivation. This is worthy of being the emperor's boss. The man who is admired by everyone. All the demon clan disciples looked at Yi Xingchen. More and more worship. And Luo Qingshan looked at everything her husband did. Her beautiful face was full of smiles, and her beautiful eyes looking at Yi Xingchen were full of affection. At this moment, Luo Qingshan looked at everything her husband had done. Her beautiful face was full of smiles, and her beautiful eyes looking at Yi Xingchen were full of affection. Yi Xingchen looked at the affection in Luo Qingshan's eyes, gently held Luo Qingshan's hand, suddenly became heroic, laughed, and said loudly, "Ha ha, I'm happy today. I finally vented my bad breath. Not only did I get 2 4th grade elixir recipes from the Xuantian sect, but I also 100 million won top-grade spiritual stones, which was enough to make the Xuantian sect uncomfortable for a while. Great Elder, I am happy today. I will distribute these 100 million top-quality spiritual stones to all the demon clan disciples, so that all the disciples can also be happy." At this moment, the people of the demon tribe in the entire Yundian arena heard Yi Xingchen's words and suddenly let out shocking shouts. It was very lively. At the same time, contrary to the atmosphere of the monster clan, the atmosphere within the Xuantian sect was bleak. At this moment, in the main hall of the Xuantian sect, on the throne above, a middle-aged man with an evil look on his face, his eyes flashing with cold light, was looking at Ni Zhenbei, who was kneeling down with his legs, with an evil smile. At this time, the middle-aged man exuded a powerful aura, an extremely cold aura, surrounding the man, causing the space around the man to almost freeze. Around Ni Zhenbei, there were several powerful people standing. Feeling the coldness emanating from the middle-aged man above them, they all closed their eyes slightly and looked calm. "Elder Ni, please get up. This matter is agreed by this emperor and has nothing to do with Elder Ni. Tell us about this trip to the demon clan in detail," came a cold and majestic voice. Hearing this cold and majestic voice, Ni Zhenbei breathed a sigh of relief, stood up slowly, and bowed to the man on the throne above. Then he said excitedly, "To report to the sect master, I made a major discovery during my trip to the demon clan this time." It turned out that the middle-aged man with an evil look on his face and a cold aura all over his body was actually Nangong Luyun, the leader of the Xuantian sect. At this moment, after hearing Nizinbei's words, Nangong Luyun raised his eyebrows, and a cold and majestic voice came. "A major discovery. Tell me in detail, let all the elders listen to it. It must be very interesting to make Elder Ni so excited." After hearing Nangong Luyun's words, Nizinbei did not dare to delay, and said excitedly to everyone. "During this trip to the monster clan, I discovered that the news coming from the Shangqing Palace was actually true. The husband of the demon clan empress is indeed a human. Furthermore, the recent phenomena of heaven and earth in the monster clan, as well as the sudden appearance of pills, are all related to this person. Now, within the entire monster clan, the intensity of fairy spirit energy is comparable to that of the sect ancestors' retreat world." After hearing Nizinbei's words, everyone in the Xuantian sect, including Nangong Luyun, showed shock on their faces. They were not shocked that Luo Qingshan's husband was a human, but they were worried that such a big change in the demon clan was all related to this man. Could this man be from the Holy Land of Hidden Giants? The Xuantian sect is afraid that it will offend the real giants of the Divine Desolate Continent, the Hidden Holy Land. They are the real masters of the Divine Desolate Continent. In a matter of seconds, they can easily destroy the Xuantian sect without any chance of living. Seeing everyone's reactions, Nizinbei immediately understood what everyone was worried about, and then said, "Sect Master, there is no need to worry. This son is definitely not from the Holy Land of Hidden Giants. Although this son has an extraordinary temperament, his strength is only in the innate realm. But there is one thing. I really don't understand how this kid, who only has the Shantian realm, defeated Mu Yebai of the immortal realm with just one finger." Hearing Nizinbei's words, Nangong Luyun frowned slightly, and a majestic voice sounded. "Elder Ni is not mistaken. This boy is indeed in the Shantian realm and has not used treasures to hide his cultivation." After hearing Nangong Luyun's words, Nizinbei nodded affirmatively. "To report to the sect master, I can be sure that this son has never used a treasure to hide his cultivation. Such treasures are rare even among the real giants. And if there is really a treasure that hides the cultivation level, I can always see some clues. I don't see any treasure in this child, it's just an ordinary innate realm." Hearing Nizinbei's words, Nangong Luyun frowned slightly. He believed in Nizinbei's vision. It's just that the Shantian realm can defeat the immortal realm, which is simply unheard of. This guy is too mysterious. But since it's not those forces in the hidden Holy Land, then there must be other forces that are interested. After all, many forces are now exploring the identity of this child. If they know that this child is only a human race in the Shantian realm, what will those forces do? Thinking of this, Nangong Luyun smiled evilly and said to Nizinbei below, "Elder Ni, let's stop this matter for now. Spread the news that the husband of the demon empress is a human in the Shantian realm. I believe many forces will be interested." Hearing Nangong Luyun's words, Nizinbei's eyes lit up. He immediately clasped his hands and nodded respectfully. The next day, a shocking news spread across the entire Shenhuang continent. The husband of the demon empress was a human in the Shantian realm. This news was like a bombshell that exploded among all the forces. In the Shangqing Palace, Wangfu Bubai, who was sitting on the main seat, was listening to the news coming from below with a calm face. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, and he said to the elders of the Shangqing Palace below, "Now all the forces in the entire Shenhuang continent know that the husband of the demon empress is a human, and his strength is only in the Shantian realm. Now the problems that I am worried about no longer exist. With this son's strength, he will never be a disciple of the hidden giant in the Holy Land." Looking at the many powerful elders below, a cold light flashed in Wangfu Bubai's eyes, and then he said, "In this case, there is news that if any force wants to refine the longevity pill, Shangqing Palace can do it. This is what all the forces want to refine the most. After all, there are too many powerful people among the major forces nowadays. Because they don't have much lifespan, they dare not take action easily. They rely on some life-extending fairy grass to extend their lifespan, but after all, it is not as effective as the life-extending elixir. The longevity elixir refined by our Shangqing Palace can extend your life for at least 5 years if taken once. When the news gets out, countless forces will come to refine the elixir. But if you want to refine the longevity pill, there is a condition. No force is allowed to buy the demon clan's pill, otherwise the Shangqing Palace will not refine the longevity pill for them. And from now on, there is news that until the female emperor of the demon clan comes to seek peace, the Shangqing Palace will not refine any life-extending pills for the demon clan. I would like to see if, without the life extension pill, Luo Qingshan will just watch the demon clan's strong men die one by one. It's just a first-grade elixir, and it's not like the Shangqing Palace doesn't have it. HMPH. I thought that with an alchemist, I could challenge the Shangqing Palace. I not only want the demon clan to hand over these 3 kinds of elixirs, but also let the demon clan hand it over the alchemist. One is an unrelated alchemist, and the other is a strong man from the demon clan. I would like to see how Luo Qingshan chooses. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. At this point Wang Fu looked up to the sky and laughed. At this moment, all the elders standing below looked at Wang Fu Bubai with awe in their eyes. Wang Fu's move is not cruel. If Luo Qingshan hands over the pill recipe and the alchemist for the life-extending pill, then there will no longer be any alchemist willing to go to the demon clan to refine elixirs. The reputation of the demon clan will be ruined. A sudden fall. Similarly, if Luo Qingshan gives up the life-extending pill for these 3 kinds of pill recipes and the alchemist, then some of those powerful demon clansmen who have short life expectancy will always feel resentful. When the time comes, the demon clan will become unstable and even have a civil war, which is also what many forces hope to see. After figuring this out, all the powerful men from Shangqing Palace who were standing there looked at Wang Fu with awe in their eyes. In the Empress Palace, Luo Qingshan listened to the elders' report with a calm expression. Her husband was a matter for the human race. Luo Qingshan knew that she couldn't hide it, and she had been mentally prepared for it. But she didn't expect that it would cause such a big reaction. But at this moment, Yi Xingqian was lying comfortably in the pavilion in the middle of the lake, thinking about Luo Qingshan's shy look last night, with a proud look on his face. Looking at the lake as calm as a mirror, I remembered that I had not signed in today, so I spoke to the system. System, check-in starts today. At this moment, Yi Xingqian was sitting in the lake pavilion with a contented look on his face. Thinking of Luo Qingshan's charming and shy look last night, he looked proud. I remembered that I hadn't signed in today, so I said to the system. System, check-in starts today. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, a bottle of the divine spring of life. The divine spring of life was transformed into the first drop of divine water when the heaven and earth were not yet opened. After taking it, it can return to the original source, treat serious injuries, and extend life. 1 drop can extend life by 50 years, and can instantly restore serious injuries in the body. It can be used indefinitely. It is a rare and supreme divine item. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 1 million top-quality immortal stones, which have been stored in the system space for the host. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 1 million bottles of the best wine, which has been stored in the system space for the host. Listening to a series of pleasant sounds coming from the system, Yi Xingqian was extremely excited. Especially the life spring rewarded by the system. 1 drop can extend life for 50 years, treat serious injuries in the body, and can be used unlimitedly. This is simply too overbearing. It is worthy of being produced by the system. Yi Xingqian couldn't help but say to the system. System, you are so great, this host loves you so much. As soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, the system's voice came over. Please keep calm, host. As the only one in the world, this system is destined to help the host reach the top and dominate the world forever. Listening to the sound of the system, the bold idea in Yi Xingqian's heart became stronger and stronger. Now that he has resurrected his life, he has strong strength and a system, all of which are his confidence. Maybe it's time to go for a walk. Yi Xingqian looked at the calm lake and thought to himself. Taking out the bottle of divine spring of life from the system space, Yi Xingqian held it in his hand and examined it carefully. The body of the bottle was pale golden, and it was unknown what material it was made of. It had an ancient feel to it. Yi Xingqian guessed that this golden bottle was also an extraordinary thing. Opening the bottle, an extremely rich life force instantly emanated from the bottle. Yi Xingqian was surprised to find that this pale golden bottle was indeed not a mortal object. It actually contained the universe, and the Sumeru was hidden in the mustard seeds. It turned out to be a rare divine bottle. Yi Xingqian swept his consciousness and was shocked to find that the divine spring of life in the bottle was almost the same as the natural lake water in front of him. This discovery made Yi Xingqian jump up instantly. He almost spilled the life spring in the bottle. So much life spring was enough for Yi Xingqian to do a lot of things. Seeing the green spring of life appearing in the bottle, Yi Xingqian's face turned up involuntarily. At this time, feeling the extremely rich life force constantly emitting from the bottle, Yi Xingqian discovered that the plants around the lakeside pavilion had grown crazily. Even the budding lotus on the lake has bloomed in a short period of time, exuding a faint fragrance. Yi Xingqian immediately capped the bottle and carefully put the life spring into the system space, humming a tune in his mouth with a contented look on his face. The scene turned to the palace of the Empress. Luo Qingxian frowned. The great elder returned below and brought something that made Luo Qingxian angry. Empress Qi, now the entire Shenhuang already knows that the emperor is a human in the Shantian realm, and many forces are secretly mocking him. What's disgusting is that news came out from the Shangqing Palace that from now on, they will no longer refine life-extending pills for us monsters. What's even more annoying is that they want the Empress to come to the house in person to sue for peace. Hand over 3 kinds of pill recipes and demon alchemist. Hearing the angry words of the great elder below, Luo Qingxian's eyes shot out a terrifying murderous intent, and the space around her continued to shake, and a powerful aura filled the entire Empress Palace. Let the elders below speak hurriedly. Empress. Empress. Hearing the voices of several elders below, Luo Qingxian's terrifying murderous intention slowly disappeared, and a powerful aura disappeared into her body. At this moment, Luo Qingxian was the peerless empress who truly unified the demon clan. Luo Qingxian, who slowly regained her composure, looked at several demon clan elders below and said, "This matter is of great importance and involves many things. Wang Fu's refusal to do so is too cruel. How do you think we should solve it?" Hearing the empress's question, several demon elders below also frowned. Just as Luo Qingxian said, Wang Fu's refusal to worship is too cruel. If it is not handled well, the consequences may not be bearable by the demon clan. Suddenly, a wise and stern voice sounded. As the master of the demon clan, when did the empress become so out of control? The more angry and excited she is, the more she has to calm down. Don't forget, Empress, your words can determine the life or death of the demon clan. Hearing the sudden sound, Luo Qingxian lowered her head in shame. She had just heard the great elder's words, which were related to Yi Xingqian. Luo Qingxian was really angry and could not control her emotions. And the only one in the entire demon clan who can speak to the empress like this is the only wise man left in the demon clan, Lu Wanquan. At this time, after hearing Lu Wanquan's words, Luo Qingxian stood up, bowed to Lu Wanquan, and said, "Thank you, Mr. Lu, for your advice. I know I was wrong." After hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Lu Wanquan smiled, nodded, and said, "Actually, the empress and the elders are also in the middle of the situation. Care will lead to chaos. This matter can be easily solved. Then if Wang Fu doesn't worship, the so-called confidence is just having the longevity pill. Look at me, don't you feel that you have forgotten something?" Hearing Lu Wanquan's words, Luo Qingxian, who was above him, suddenly had a flash of light in his eyes, and said excitedly, "Thank you, Mr. Lu, for reminding me. I actually forgot about this matter. Come, please invite the emperor to come to the Empress Palace. I want to discuss with the emperor." After being reminded by Lu Wanquan, the other demon clan elders also reacted instantly. Isn't the demon clan wise man who turned younger in front of him a typical example? Emperor Zun is the only 9th grade alchemist in the Shenhuang continent. He can refine the immortal golden elixir that can extend 100,000 years of life. How dare he be afraid of the Shangqing Palace's life extension elixir that can extend one's life by 5 years? Wang Fu's plot to not worship him may come to nothing this time. At this moment, after hearing Luo Qingxian's words, a figure appeared. It was Wei Donglai, the leader of the guard. He bowed to Luo Qingshan and disappeared. After a while, Yi Xingqian slowly arrived at the Empress Palace. This was the first time for Luo Qingshan to be invited to the Empress Palace. Seeing Yi Xingqian's arrival, several demon clan elders and demon clan wise man Lu Wanquan all bowed to Yi Xingqian. Yi Xingqian quickly asked everyone to stand up with a smile, without any trace of the majesty that an emperor should have. When all the demon clan elders and Lu Wanquan saw Yi Xingqian, they were all smiling, with incomparable respect in their eyes. Who could not like such an approachable emperor? Looking at her husband, Luo Qingshan smiled with tenderness on her face. She looked at Yi Xingqian, who was sitting next to her, with a mischievous smile on her face and winked at her. Luo Qingshan, who had already been close to Yi Xingqian for a long time, still didn't understand the meaning in her husband's eyes. Her pretty face turned red and she gave her husband a hard look. Thinking of the way this bad guy teased her last night, Luo Qingshan felt shy, but her heart was filled with tenderness. Then he said softly to Yi Xingqian, "I invited my husband here this time because I have something to discuss with him." Looking at Luo Qingshan's shy look, Yi Xingqian knew that Luo Qingshan knew what he was thinking, smiled slightly, and said softly, "Madam, what are you talking about? If you have something to do, just give me your instructions. Our lady has the final say." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingshan's beautiful face became even more shy. She glanced at the people below and found that all the demon clan people below were all smiling, lowering their heads and pretending not to hear. Luo Qingshan's face turned redder, and she glanced at Yi Xingqian with an irritated look before speaking out and telling Yi Xingqian what happened today. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingqian's face instantly darkened, and a terrifying aura emanated from his body. Compared with the smiling and approachable look just now, Yi Xingqian at this moment is like a demon god, arrogant and domineering. It actually made everyone in the Empress Palace feel fearful. Husband. With a soft cry, Yi Xingqian's terrifying aura disappeared in an instant, as if it had never appeared before. Looking at Luo Qingshan, whose eyes were full of worry, Yi Xingqian turned around and gently took her hand, smiled slightly, and said something directly that shocked everyone. At this moment, hearing Luo Qingshan's soft cry, the terrifying aura on Yi Xingqian disappeared in an instant. He turned around and took Luo Qingshan's hand, smiled slightly, and said something directly that shocked everyone. This Shangqing Palace is so brave. Where did they get the confidence to ask the emperor's wife to come and admit her mistake in person, just because she knows how to refine that rubbish life-extending pill? At this moment, Yi Xingqian's eyes were like lightning, sharp and shocking, and every move he made was domineering. All the elders below felt Yi Xingqian's domineering aura, with admiration in their eyes, and they all secretly sighed in their hearts. Emperor, it is indeed not simple. The terrifying momentum just now actually made them fearful. Emperor is much more powerful than they imagined. At this time, Luo Qingshan was looking at Yi Xingqian with tenderness. Just because Wang Fu refused to allow her to go to the house to sue for peace, her husband was so angry. How could Luo Qingshan not be moved? At this moment, looking at Yi Xingqian who was full of domineering aura, Luo Qingshan said softly, "Husband, there is no need to be angry. That Wang Fu did not bow down is because he relied on the Shangqing Palace to refine the life-extending pills, so he was so confident. In the entire Shenhuang continent, except for those hidden giants, everyone basically needs to look at the face of the Qing Palace. After all, life-extending elixirs are extremely needed and indispensable for every force." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingqian said, "There are so many forces in the entire Shenhuang, but there is no alchemist of its own. It is extremely simple to refine elixirs that extend lifespan. Should we just let the Shangqing Palace slowly grow in size?" And what the lady said, the hidden giant power refers to. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingqian asked directly. Hearing Yi Xingqian's question, Luo Qingshan sighed helplessly and said softly, "Since the ancient war between immortals and demons, many alchemists and prescriptions have been lost. This has made alchemists extremely rare in the Shenhuang continent today, and prescriptions for extending life are even more pitiful. Basically, it is controlled by those hidden giants in the Holy Land. The Shangqing Palace can possess a life-extending elixir. Without the influence of the hidden giants, it can be said that it has enough say." Seeing Yi Xingqian smile slightly, Luo Qingshan then said, The holy lands of hidden giants that my husband asked about are actually those superpowers that have been hidden from the world since ancient times. They did not participate in the war between immortals and demons at that time, so many martial arts, elixirs, and alchemists have been well preserved. Come down. After so many years, these superpowers are rarely born for unknown reasons, but they are more powerful and can almost easily destroy any top power in the Shenhuang continent. The Miao Miao Mansion, once the top power in the Divine Desolate Continent, was destroyed overnight because it offended the hidden giant Holy Land in an auction, causing shock to the entire Divine Desolate. Later on, the entire Shenhuang continent's forces no longer dared to offend those hidden giants in the Holy Land. But fortunately, these hidden world forces never participated in the affairs of the Shenhuang continent, so they rarely conflict with the forces of the Shenhuang continent today. Quote, hearing Luo Qingshan's words, the thought in Yi Xingqian's heart became more urgent. He did not expect that the Shenhuang continent actually hid such powerful forces. Being able to wipe out all the top forces in the Shenhuang continent, the Piao Miao Mansion, overnight, the powerful ones among them are at least several times that of the Piao Miao Mansion. As the top force, Piao Miao Mansion had at least one emperor-level ancestor and dozens of powerful immortal emperors. However, they did not even have a chance to escape and were destroyed in one night. It is conceivable that those in the Holy Land of hidden giants how powerful. Looking at Luo Qingshan, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said, haha, I think these so-called holy places of hidden giants regard themselves as aloof gods. On the one hand, they hide in the world and pretend to be aloof. On the one hand, they control some forces behind the scenes, or cooperate with some forces to gain benefits for themselves. Otherwise, for so many years, where would there be so many spiritual stones to cultivate, and how could there be so many spiritual medicines and fairy grass to refine elixirs, unless these disciples of the Force don't need to practice anymore? Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingshan said with a smile in her eyes. My husband is right. Although these hidden forces cannot come out, there are shadows of these hidden forces behind many forces. But there's nothing wrong with that. After all, these forces also need spirit stones, but we can't guess which forces they are. Looking at Yi Xingqian with tender eyes, Luo Qingshan continued. The most important thing now is to solve the matter of the life-extending elixir, so I invited my husband here. I want to ask him about refining the life-extending elixir. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said softly to Luo Qingshan. Madam, it's too easy to refine life-extending elixirs. Immortality pills, life-enhancing pills, etc. can all make people live longer, but I'm too lazy to refine these elixirs. In Yi Xingqian's mind, he possesses the treasure of the alchemy sect in ancient times, the true solution to alchemy. The number of alchemy recipes is comparable to any force in ancient times. There are many life-extending elixirs, but now Yi Xingqian has a better one, so he doesn't plan to refine it, so he said this to Luo Qingshan. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the entire Empress Palace fell silent for an instant. Everyone's eyes showed shock. The name of the pill that Emperor Zun casually mentioned was something they had never heard of. Seeing everyone's shocked expressions, Yi Xingqian whispered to Luo Qingshan. Madam, my husband is a 9th-grade alchemist. If we monsters still take the junk elixirs like Shangqing Palace, it will be a real shame on my husband. After Yi Xingqian finished speaking, he waved his hand casually, and 9 immortal golden elixirs appeared in front of Luo Qingshan. A strong energy of life instantly filled the entire Empress Palace, and then he said softly to Luo Qingshan. Madam, we monster clan strongmen, if you want to take it, take this immortal golden elixir. One pill can extend your life for 100,000 years. Although each person can only take it once, but after 100,000 years, you can take other life-extending elixirs. Elixir. After Yi Xingqian finished speaking, he placed the 9 immortal golden elixirs in Luo Qingshan's hands. Feeling the rich breath of life in her hands, Luo Qingshan looked up at Yi Xingqian in disbelief and said, Husband, these elixirs are 9th-grade elixirs. Husband, are you sure you will give them all to Shen'er? Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingqian scraped her head lovingly. Luo Qingshan's straight nose said softly with a smile on her face. Madam, you and I are one and the same. There are only 9 pills. If the lady needs them, my husband can refine them for her in the future. At this moment, After hearing Yi Xingqian's words and feeling Yi Xingqian's deep affection for him, the corners of Luo Qingxian's eyes were slightly moist. With these pills, the demon clan will no longer need to look at the Qing Palace's face. In the Queen's Palace, other people from the demon clan were filled with excitement when they saw Yi Xingqian taking out 9 ninth-grade elixirs and feeling the rich life energy. With the Emperor here, the demon clan members must rise. Suddenly, Yi Xingqian's voice sounded again, and he looked at Luo Qingxian and said, "Since the Shangqing Palace has set the stage, my husband has taken over. He can tolerate other things. If he dares to bully his wife and insult her in this way, even today, the husband will step on it, let alone a mere Shangqing Palace." Hearing her husband's domineering words, Luo Qingxian was moved in her heart. Looking at the confident light in Yi Xingqian's eyes, she said softly, "Husband, I think I already have a way to deal with it. Why don't you tell me and let the elders listen too?" Listening to Luo Qingxian's gentle words, Yi Xingqian smiled mysteriously, looked at the elders below and said, "What gives Wangfu the confidence to not worship him? It is the longevity elixir. In this case, I will use Wangfu's most confidence in not worshipping the elixir to completely defeat him. I would like to see if he, the Emperor, will worship me or not when he meets me." Looking at the shocked elders below. At this time, Yi Xingqian was exuding an astonishing momentum that swept across the world and all directions. At this time, Yi Xingqian looked like an ancient emperor, towering over all living beings, making people worship him involuntarily. At this moment, hearing Yi Xingqian's domineering words, all the demon clan elders were filled with excitement and looked at Yi Xingqian who was standing above. At this time, Yi Xingqian was exuding an astonishing momentum that swept across the world and all directions. Set off by Yi Xingqian, he is like an ancient emperor, towering over all living beings, making people worship him involuntarily. Luo Qingxian on the side looked at the back of an ancient emperor, exuding astonishing aura, with deep pride and affection in his beautiful eyes. Seeing this majestic back, Luo Qingxian felt extremely at ease in her heart, as if this back could resist everything in the world, any difficulties and dangers. Turning around and looking at the admiration and affection in Luo Qingxian's eyes, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said, "Madam, I heard you say last time that I have been to the human race for several years, partly for training, and partly to find a pill that can cure the failure to break through the realm. Now I have found this pill." Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian's eyes flashed with sadness, she shook her head slightly and said, "I found it. It's the supreme creation pill refined by Shangqing Palace. However, this pill is the foundation of Shangqing Palace. Even if the human race wants to get one, it will be extremely difficult for us, the demon clan, let alone us. But no matter how difficult it is, I still have to find the elixir that can cure the failure of breaking through the realm. These tribesmen were once the top geniuses of the demon clan. They have sacrificed too much for the demon clan. Even if there is a chance, I will give up." After hearing Luo Qingxian's words, the elders below also looked sad. Those strong men are all seniors of the demon clan. Now they are unable to break through the realm because they have injured their origins. They can only linger in the immortal emperor realm and cannot break through the immortal emperor realm. If an elixir can be found to treat such injuries, these seniors will not only be able to recover from their injuries, but with so many years of accumulation, they will definitely be able to break through to the immortal emperor realm again. After that time, the entire demon clan's power will become even stronger. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words and looking at everyone's expressions, Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian and sighed slightly. "Hey, madam, my husband is very disappointed. A dignified 9th grade alchemist is standing in front of you, but you actually ignore him. I am so disappointed." At this moment, when everyone in the Empress Palace heard Yi Xingqian's words, their expressions suddenly changed. They looked up at Yi Xingqian with excitement on their faces. Luo Qingxian came to Yi Xingqian with excitement, took Yi Xingqian's hand, her eyes were full of expectation, and she said, Husband, what you mean is that husband can refine this kind of elixir?" Seeing Luo Qingxian's excitement, Yi Xingqian pretended to be angry and snorted. "HMPH, you are a dignified 9th grade alchemist, but you have ignored me. My husband is very angry now, and the consequences will be serious." The elders below looked at Yi Xingqian pretending to be angry, looked at Luo Qingxian's expression, shook their heads helplessly, and kept silent knowingly. At this time, looking at Yi Xingqian, who was like a child, Luo Qingxian smiled helplessly. She didn't know what this enemy was thinking, so she approached Yi Xingqian's ear and whispered something. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian's eyes instantly lit up, and he looked at Luo Qingxian, who had a pretty face that was red, and smiled, causing Luo Qingxian to roll his eyes. At this time, Yi Xingqian seemed to be a different person, smiling and saying to Luo Qingxian, "Madam, let these seniors come to the Empress Palace. My husband will treat these seniors immediately." What a joke! I have countless life springs rewarded by the system. One drop can extend my life for 50 years. I can also return to my origin and treat serious injuries, including simple injuries from the source. Although these powerful monsters cannot break through again, their realm has not regressed, which shows that they were only injured by the heavenly tribulation, not by the way of heaven. If it is a wound from heaven, the consequences will be very serious. Not only will it be impossible to break through, but its own realm will slowly retreat and its strength will become weaker and weaker until it turns into a withered skeleton. What's more, being tortured by the wounds of heaven every moment is definitely not something ordinary people can endure. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian looked excited, with a look of expectation in her eyes, and hurriedly said, "Husband." Seeing Luo Qingxian's excitement, Yi Xingqian directly held Luo Qingxian's hand tightly before Luo Qingxian finished speaking. "Madam, don't worry, your husband understands. Madam, please feel free to invite those demon clan seniors to the Empress Palace." After Yi Xingqian gave Luo Qingxian a reassuring look, he held Luo Qingxian's hand tightly and said aloud. Hearing her husband's words and the reassurance in Yi Xingqian's eyes, Luo Qingxian's eyes were full of excitement and she immediately said, "Great Elder, please immediately invite those seniors to the Empress Palace." Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, the elder did not dare to delay for 1,000 miles, bowed slightly to Luo Qingxian and Yi Xingqian, and disappeared. At this moment, the remaining demon clan elders below looked at Yi Xingqian with eyes full of excitement. If Emperor Zun can really treat those demon clan seniors, then the demon clan will have dozens more powerful immortal emperors, and the demon clan will also become a superpower in the divine wilderness, on par with those hidden giants in the Holy Land. Flat. In a moment, dozens of powerful demon clan men followed the great elder to the Empress Palace. After bowing to the two of them, these dozens of powerful demon clan men looked at Yi Xingqian with excited expressions. Seeing the excitement in the eyes of these demon clan seniors, Yi Xingqian knew that the great elder must have said something to them. He smiled slightly and said, "Seniors, you are all the pillars of the demon clan. You must already know why the Empress invites you here. In this case, I, the Emperor, will not be verbose. I would like all seniors to take the divine spring of life in front of you." Looking at these powerful monsters, they should have been at the level of the ancestors of the monster clan, but because they failed to overcome the tribulation, they could only wander in the immortal emperor realm. As Yi Xingqian spoke, he waved his hand casually, and dozens of drops of the divine spring of life exuding rich life energy appeared in front of these demon clan seniors. Everyone in the entire Empress Palace felt this extremely rich energy of life. Looking at the green plants starting to grow taller in the Empress Palace, they all looked shocked and thought to themselves, the rich energy of life actually made the green plants grow taller in a short period of time. Looking at the shocked expressions of the demon clan people, Yi Xingqian said directly, "Seniors, please drink the divine spring of life quickly, then sit cross-legged, recover from the injuries in your body, and break through to the immortal emperor realm directly." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, dozens of demon clan experts no longer hesitated and immediately sucked the life spring in front of them into their mouths, closed their eyes and sat cross-legged. Everyone felt the power of life emanating from the bodies of these powerful monsters. At this moment, the bodies of these demon clan seniors are like a desert that has been exposed to rain for a long time. The rich life energy is constantly nourishing their bodies and repairing their origins. Moreover, their longevity has also increased by 50 years, and their aura has been getting stronger. This is the power of the divine spring of life. In about a stick of incense, all the demon clan seniors opened their eyes almost at the same time, and waves of terrifying immortal emperor realm aura radiated out. Dozens of immortal emperor realm auras formed energy storms, pressing in all directions. Feeling these terrifying auras, everyone else showed excitement. These demon clan seniors have all experienced horrific catastrophes. Because their origins were injured, they were unable to break through to the immortal emperor realm. Now that the original injury has been restored, there is no need to experience a catastrophe. With so many years of accumulation, it is logical to break through to the immortal emperor realm. This also made the monster clan suddenly become a superpower in the Shenhuang continent, making everyone in the Empress Palace extremely excited. At this time, everyone looked towards Yi Xingqian, with incomparable excitement and admiration in their eyes. Those powerful monsters who had broken through to the immortal emperor realm directly faced Yi Xingqian, knelt down on one leg and said, "Thank you, Emperor, and please accept our respects. Thank you, Emperor, and please accept our respects." Seeing the senior demon clan kneeling on one leg to worship Yi Xingqian, everyone looked shocked, and Luo Qingxian's eyes even shone with joy. In the monster clan, kneeling down on one leg is a symbol of complete allegiance. How could they not be shocked by the loyalty of dozens of powerful immortal emperors? Yi Xingqian quickly asked these demon clan seniors to stand up and said, "We are all members of the same family, seniors, there is no need to do this, please get up quickly." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, these demon seniors who had just broken through to the immortal emperor realm slowly stood up. But the look in Yi Xingqian's eyes was full of respect. Yi Xingqian turned around and took Luo Qingxian's hand. Seeing the joy and affection in Luo Qingxian's eyes, he laughed and felt proud. Today, all the seniors have returned to their true origins, broken through to the immortal emperor realm, and made our demon race become a superpower. Congratulations! As soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, he waved his hand and a scene that shocked everyone below appeared. The great elder was thousands of miles away, and when he saw the scene in front of him, he kept swallowing his saliva, and completely lost the look that a strong man should have. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.